We're back, and hopefully there's no more technical issues. This is session 2 of Blood and Beauty. If you want to give us a recap again, sorry about having to do it again, Steven. I know someone else wants to do it this time.
Yeah.
Silence.
I'll take that as a no.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay. Next time the dice might choose someone else.
Yeah, they better do. Or I'll rig them. I'll have to use my special Roll20 macro.
Is it the one where you kill players and sacrifice them to the blood god?
Indeed. Now,
So that's how Steve does it, is it?
I will add on a scene. I remembered something else. So previously on Blood and Beauty, I think the scene opened with somebody, I don't quite know who, watching Erica and her band perform. I think I was there, Miller. So they came off stage, and then Barry got a call from the station head, Cassandra, who told him to get a team together because there was a wreck in need of being salvaged. And by salvage, she meant non-legitimately, but she was going to legitimize it. Barry went down to the surgical ward to find the doctor, Edward Liang, and hold on, someone's calling me. I'm gonna have to. Somebody else is gonna have to take over. Sorry.
No.
Beyond me.
Yeah, fun. Well, I'll take over. We went down to. Well, first of all, Barry came to find me, and when he did, Miller was there talking to me because we were having a drink together. Miller kind of invited himself along, basically on the principle of if it's a possible pirates or something, Richard wanted Miller with him. We went to the medical bay where Edward and Mercy were working on what someone Barry knew who had decided to try and stick his hand down a trash compactor and had lost most of his hand. They kind of showed their medical capabilities by keeping the guy alive and successfully dealing with the decapitated arm, though the guy doesn't really ever have a chance of having an arm again. While we're doing this and explaining to Edward, and while Miller and Mercy, who knew each other, were getting back to acquainted with each other, we noticed that Erica, who was looking for a little bit of extra money, had followed us. So we kind of dragged her along. All of us had a short discussion. Well, I say short discussion, fairly long discussion about how we were going to deal with getting this ship, which ultimately came to nothing rather than let's just get over there and find out what's going on. When we got there, the ship was obviously Black Ops military, and had been battered to pieces. It got holes in it. Most of the supply things on the bottom had been taken away. There was no sign of any crew, no sign of anyone on board ship, no atmosphere. Searched the place, found that the crew had been chopped up and stuck in big cases, big 1 meter square cargo cases. And I do mean chopped up, they were cut into pieces and stuffed in there. There were a couple of Vandal weapons on board, but the damage internally was not done by the Vandal themselves. The full memory core and the nav core had been taken away, as what has had anything that wasn't basically fastened down. We figured out that whatever had happened had been an inside job. Someone had opened the escape hatch in the bridge, which had killed the command crew, and then obviously some had systematically gone around killing everyone else, then escaped. Well, we assume they escaped. Got the ship, Barry, Miller, and got the ship engines working. We had a discussion with Cassandra about what payment we're going to get, where she eventually agreed that she'd give us all 5% of what she got from the ship. Then we docked it at the station, where saw Cassandra, confirmed that she was going to make sure she was certainly going to pay us. Then went to the bar to have a few drinks and celebrate. Edward's girlfriend Morgan turned up and proceeded. Was it Edward? Yeah, Edward's girlfriend Morgan turned up and proceeded to gossip a lot. We told each other lots of embarrassing stories about our past, and that was where it ended.
Very well. Do any of you do anything during the evening?
Erica would probably just check in with the other members of her band, let them all know she was doing okay and that she'd have some other stuff to deal with tomorrow.
Richard would check in with the base military, with the sergeants, and say, just do the same basic thing. It's like, got stuff to do tomorrow, boss. Is anything happening?
Sorry, with who? I was reading.
The sergeant.
Sergeant
Dion Jones.
Dion Jones.
And basically just says, anything? Do you need me tomorrow? Or
no? Everything is quiet, but I think you might want to take this one back to your friend.
And he like sort of pushes out this woman. She's wearing like a shirt with like 3 birds on it, and you recognize her.
Oh God!
She's Carla Tin. She's one of Erica's band members. She has a reputation around the station for drinking and bar fights.
Okay, I'll bring her. I'll take her. Come on, you.
She sort of, she gives you like a look and she says, "This ain't the first time this has happened."
No, and it won't be the last time unless you learn how to handle your drink.
It was just a little fight.
It's always just a little fight. One of these days, those little fights will turn into a big one, and you'll end up in big trouble. Come on, let's get you to Erica.
She just sort of like crosses her arms and follows you as if she's been through this procedure many times before.
I basically lead her off to where Erica's quarters and bang on Erica's door.
Erica, you hear a knock on your door.
What? Who is it?
Erica, I've got a waif and stray with me.
Open the door.
Just let me back in. You didn't have to do that.
Yes, I did. This one of yours?
You know she is.
Yeah, well, can you put a tighter leash on her because she's been fighting again and drinking again?
You can
She does.
You can see there's like a few bloodstains on her sheet.
Does any of it look like hers?
No. She looks just fine.
Erica just shrugs and says, "What you want me to do? I'm not her mom."
Whatever you bandy, musicy people do to keep each other on the straight and narrow. Just about put my hand behind the woman and just shove her through the door. She's your problem now.
You see in the room already. You see in the room already are Morgan, and then another man you know is Drawn. He's sitting there kind of like smoking and just relaxing.
Fine. Job done.
Yeah, go take a break.
I was trying to, but I got dumped with fetching her. See you later.
Erica's just gonna roll her eyes and shut the door.
Richard sticks a finger up at the closed door and wanders off.
Hey, it only counts if they see it, pal, says Miller, who was leaning around the corner.
It makes me feel better.
That's the main thing, Gibbo.
How are you?
A little shaky.
I'm not surprised. I'm not exactly happy about things at the moment either. Black Ops ship that's had the whole crew chopped up.
Yeah.
Hope that's not going to come back and bite us.
We'll see, pal. I reckon it's gonna take a lot longer to find us if we can get off this rust bucket.
Yep, let's hope Cassandra comes through with the right money. Well,
If
hold
she
my
does.
breath though.
I know what you're saying. What do you think of these band people?
Well, last time I saw Erica, until she was on stage last night, she was top billing and God knows what she was up to. Now she's here, so they're musical people, you know what they're like. Totally crazy, and half of them are hooked on something.
Poor little rich girl, huh? Slumming it.
Yeah, God, and she's got to paid someone off to get here.
Can you both of you make me recon intelligence checks?
Yep.
Definitely.
So I think we.
Put my hand on Miller's mouth. Point to an air vent.
The second you do that, you both hear like the air vent, like heavy footsteps inside of the air vent,
Moving in which direction?
like away from you.
Does the air vent move along the side of the corridor, or is it moving away from the corridor?
The air vent's actually like on the ceiling. You can see like a kind of through like the openings in it. You see like you can't tell like who it was, but there was definitely a person in there listening in. The air vents aren't that big though. It'd have to probably be like a child.
Can we see the next entrance to the air vent?
They're like lining all along.
Okay. I'll try and beat whoever it is to there.
I assume we can't see. We couldn't get in the air vents, could we?
No, you wouldn't be able to fit. You would probably. Well, I don't know if your characters would know. Make me I want to say engineering.
Mechanic?
Mechanic would be okay too, I think. Basically, I just want to see if your character would know, kind of like.
Oh yeah.
I don't even have the skills. So I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, you know that they kind of wind all over the place, Miller. So like the odds of catching this person, like it's not just like a big straight line. They're gonna like wind and go into every room and everything. So you could, if you had access to the station scanners. Potentially find out where they're going, though. With your 13,
That's-
you know that.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
I'll take out my hand computer. Can I hack into the station's sensors to try and work out where this person's going?
Sure, that's going to be computers to hack it, though.
I'm going to try another technique and just call up Dion and say, look, got someone crawling around the air vents here. Can we, any chance you can get someone on the system to find out where they're going?
Yeah, right away.
And
Thanks.
Miller, you get access to it as well.
Okay, I'll see if there's any camera feeds in the air vents.
There's not actually any camera feeds. It's just like the station scanners can kind of pick up. Oh, there's someone in there.
More than one or just one?
It's just the one person.
Where they headed?
Follow them.
Sure. So they sort of head down. They're going actually towards one of the nastier parts of the station.
Oh. Where would you expect someone who sneaks around a air vent to go? Shall we follow?
Why not?
Okay.
Hope you're packing, pal.
I'm always packing. May only be my pistol, but I'm always packing.
Sure. So are you guys kind of running, or are you just like making your way in that direction?
We're not going to run because it attracts too much attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Walk
Just-
as quickly as we can without being obvious.
Okay, so you kind of follow along, and eventually you get to like one of the parts of the station where maintenance is kind of poorly kept. You can see there's panels open with like exposed wires all around the station. You can see some of them have been like cut out and looted for the more valuable parts. The lighting sort of works. All of the habitation stuff has not been touched, however, for obvious reasons.
While I don't have my gun out, I've made sure that I can pull it out instantly if need be.
Mhm. There's
Great.
plenty of like folk who are kind of looking at you suspiciously. Are
Leg Central.
they're kind of eyeing your belongings. Richard, one person like walks by you and sort of bumps shoulders with you.
Check your wallet, pal.
Yeah, make me a
we're back.
recon intelligence check.
Okay.
7. So that I'll say that would be good enough. You kind of notice the person like filling you up, but they don't manage to grab anything off you, but they definitely were attempting to.
I give the guy a stare that's basically I know what you were doing and don't try it again. Look.
He just kind of like scoffs at you and keeps walking.
Really need to clear this place out one of these days.
Yeah, you and whose army, pal? Let's find out who this dirtbag was.
That's the thing. I'm in the Marine Corps. I've got a whole army. Just persuading him to help. Come on, let's find him then.
So as you sort of proceed, you eventually get to this it's not really a door, it's just like someone took like a shower pole and then like they have like a curtain in front of this building, and you can hear the sound of like casino machines and arcade machines coming from this room.
Great, we hit Pachinko Central, my favorite game. After you.
Just because you outranked me. Okay. Wondering.
The name of this place, speaking of which, is Papachinko's. It says in like it's just kind of written in like paint. It's not even the sign.
Well, look on the bright side. At least it's not blood.
Yeah, something tells me this isn't a legal place. Fine. Enter it in.
There's a bunch of well, not a bunch, but there are like quite a few people, and you can see there's some back rooms kind of located around. There is like a desk, but it's one of those like kind of glass display desks that's kind of just been moved over into the room. It wasn't here to begin with. And you can see inside of it are a bunch of bottles of like various, mostly cheap. There are a few expensive things in there.
Miller glances at his hand computer. Where does the access to the tunnel go? Is it going to be in one of the back rooms?
It would have been in one of the back rooms. The tunnel actually kind of ended in this area, though, so it might be kind of hard to figure out exactly where they were. Though you don't see any children or dwarfs or anything in here. When I say dwarfs, I mean like dwarfs as in like a little person, not a fantasy dwarf, obviously.
Any small women?
No, not that you can see.
I'm thinking drone, says Miller out of the corner of his mouth.
Well, you know from the scanners it was probably a person. Well, it had... because of it was a life form, not like a electronic.
Ooh.
Don't suppose the scanner told us where they went when they came out of here, did they?
Well, once you get the scanners aren't that exact, so it sort of just went into this area, and then there's a bunch of people here, so.
Right. Shall we wander and see if we can figure out who it is?
No need, says Miller in a slightly louder voice. I already know who it was. Come on, let's go report him. And Miller leaves the thing with an air of a man intent upon going towards station security.
I follow quickly behind, not wanting to be left in the room alone.
As you're sort of making your way out, as you get back near the door, there's this like very tall and lanky man who's sort of sitting at a slot machine, and without even looking up, he sort of pulls on the handle, and you see it come up as like 2 lemons and then a 7, and then he just like reaches out with one of his like his left leg, like a long leg, just sort of blocks the doorway so you could step over it.
I'll step over it.
Yep.
Very well, you step over it. And he sort of just glances up, and you see him sort of stand up behind you as you exit the room. And this guy's got to be like almost 7 foot, at least like 6'9", and he just sort of looks down at you and takes a couple steps behind you casually, without saying anything.
We'll saunter out into the area outside and casually, and then Miller will turn around. Is there a problem, pal?
I don't know. Is there?
You see him sort of reach back, like he's reaching into his back pocket, or scratching something, but you get the feeling that he's ready for something more if necessary.
Well, that all depends on you, pal.
I'm just basically keeping an eye on the whole area to make sure no one else tries to sneak up on us.
As you look around, you see, because again, this is sort of like a decrepit area, there's a few other people sort of walking around, and the lanky man sort of like he takes his left hand and he kind of reaches up and like scratches his nose, and you can see like a few other people sort of take note of this.
It's a nice piece of cant you got there, pal. We're just passing through.
Just passing through. Not gonna cause any trouble.
You got it, pal.
He sort of eyes you, and he takes a moment and he thinks it over. You can see his mind. He's like turning wheels, and he kind of he turns his head back towards like the entrance to the room, and he pulls back the curtain and he looks in, and then he just like he just nods to you and then goes back into the parlor.
Miller and Gibbo exit the scene.
Quickly.
No quicker than dignity allows.
Well, that got us absolutely nothing apart from the fact it's something to do with who's running that place.
Oh, don't worry yet, pal. Let's just wander a bit and see. I'll check to see if anybody's following us.
Sure, that would be recon intelligence again.
Keep a lookout, Miller. Keep a lookout, Gibbo. See if anyone's tailing this, pal.
Yeah, try it. Okay.
See anyone?
I'm a looking.
Neither of you see anything or anyone following you.
Okay, we're gonna try and plan a sort of semi-circuitous route where if somebody was following us, it would make it much more obvious. So, sort of a few S-bends just to see if they'll end up revealing themselves. We'll also check in case there's several of them.
Gotcha. So, are you guys kind of staying in the same area, or are you going back to like the nicer area?
We're moving slowly back towards the nicer area, but as I say,
Okay.
we're choosing a route to reveal any pursuers,
Gotcha.
even if they're in a group.
So you kind of get the feeling that there's like, you see like this old woman, and you kind of like get a glance of her every now and then, and she's always like looking in your direction, but you can't be like 100% sure if she's following you or if she's just like, it lives in this area. And as you sort of start to get towards the nicer areas, like the transition point, you notice that she's not there anymore, though you don't know when she tucked away or whatever. So it just leaves you with this uneasy feeling where you think she might have been following you, but it easily could have just been someone else on their way back to their home or something.
If you think something's dodgy, it usually is.
No kidding. Okay, that was a nice, fun little detour.
Yep.
Looks like somebody was spying on us, but maybe not us in particular. Just someone
No.
crawling around the vents.
Okay. Can't do anything about it right now.
I'll check the station schematics. Do those vents allow access to things like our quarters and stuff?
Some of the rooms, but your quarters usually don't have a big enough vent for that sort of thing.
Yeah, but someone small was in those vents, weren't they?
Yeah, but they would like that. They'd be too small for a person for most room, like most like personal rooms. If you're in like a big facility, again, it kind of depends on the size of the room. Has different size vents, so.
Gotcha.
Well, head back to our rooms and see what happens in the morning.
Night, Gibbo.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Yeah.
Laughs slightly evilly.
Barry, as you arrive home, your mother, Rose, greets you. Well, hi there, Barry. Did you have a good evening?
Yes, Mom.
I made some kel for you.
That's very kind of you.
You can see like a small plate of kel on the table waiting for you. It looks like it's gotten cold when you were out drinking. Yeah, kel.
Sorry I'm so late. Hate to leave. I hate to leave you on your own. Distracted by new people.
I've heard rumors about some big ship showing up on the station.
Well, let's talk about it with the door closed, yeah?
She nods and she clicks a button and the door kind of shuts.
Barry sits down in front of his cold kale.
She kind of picks it up and she goes and like puts it in like the microwave.
Barry goes for another drink and mumbles under his breath. I think I've had enough tonight. Creaks the back of his neck.
She nods and she says, "Well, be safe. There's been some nasty rumors recently."
What kind of rumors?
Oh, about some of the gangs getting up to some nasty business.
Who's getting into nasty business, sorry?
Some of the gangs. They've been getting into some nasty business.
You know I don't deal with gangs, Ma.
I know, but they're still active around this area.
I may have to call in sick for a couple of days, Ma. I know it might make things a bit harder for us money-wise, but can't really be going anywhere for a while. Not until a certain ship leaves. With certain people on it.
That doesn't sound very good. Are you sure you haven't had anything happen recently?
Not that recent. I can't tell you too much, Ma. Knowing things sometimes brings on more trouble than it's worth. You know I hate to keep stuff from you, though. God, my head hurts.
I understand. Well, just be safe. Why don't you get some sleep?
I'll eat first. Need something in my stomach other than ginger beer.
He kind of places the kill that's been warmed back on the table.
Thank you, Ma. Barry eats his reheated kale, hugs his Ma, and goes off to bed.
Very well. Mercy, as you go home as well, you're also greeted by your mother. Well, hello there, Mercy.
Hello, Mother.
Anything interesting happened at the clinic today?
I chopped off an arm.
Aesir kind of look a little aghast. Please tell me that there was a good reason behind it.
Well, of course. It was crushed beyond any repair, so it had to be done.
This fact doesn't really seem to please her in any way. Well, as long as you were doing your best to help them, do you have any of those, regeneratives or perhaps another, another part to replace his arm with?
That's not really any of my business, Mom.
Oh, well, I do hope that tomorrow is not quite so exciting for you.
But why would you wish such a thing? I'm learning so much. You'd be proud of me. Dr. Edward is very impressed.
I see then. Well, why don't you get something to eat and then we can sit down and watch a TV show together before the evening ends.
Oh, sure.
You heat up like a prefabbed meal and eat with her while watching something on one of the screens. Do you have anything you two will watch together?
Friends.
Okay. You watch reruns of an ancient TV show from another time.
Look, Mom, they have breathable air in their apartments.
Yes, I do believe this show goes all the way back to Earth times. That was before the first quantum drives were invented, I believe.
Simpler times. I would be very happy in those times, I think.
Well, I think you would be a bit disappointed if you went back. They're just missing so many wonderful technologies that we have today.
I mean, technology is great and everything, but they seem so happy, don't they? Like, I know this is a TV show and everything, but no, they're up there. They have friends, they have family.
Yes, that's true, but we're a family here, so maybe some things haven't changed too much.
Yeah, we're a good family, just the two of us. It's okay. So, did you have anything interesting happening today?
Oh no, nothing too interesting. Though I did hear rumors that there's a large ship that came into here. It looked like it was in bad shape.
Oh, a large ship, huh? Wonder what happened.
I'm not sure, but rumors are it was something destroyed by pirates, perhaps?
Yeah, nasty people, those pirates. They just keep doing that, don't they?
Yes, they're not the nicest folk, are they?
No. Mom, have you ever thought about leaving here?
Of course I've thought about it, but I've been living here so long. It just sort of feels like home to me now. It would pain my heart to have to leave.
But if you could go anywhere, where would you go?
Perhaps I would visit Terra again. Just
Oh,
thinking
like
about
that?
Tara warms my heart.
Yeah, me too. The university was.
And do you remember that water park that was there? Now that was quite a bit of fun.
Oh, yes. I wish I hadn't throw up after that giant slide I went through, though.
Yes.
Other people were not very happy. I guess you do need to wait an hour after, you know,
Yes,
to swim.
I did warn you.
You did. You did.
With that, she sort of begins kind of cleaning up and getting ready for bed.
Yep, I'll do the same. But before I'm gonna look at some piping system plans.
You're going to look at what exactly?
You know, at what point do you need to reverse something to make the toilet go
Oh,
off?
okay.
No, it's just a little study.
Very well, you do so. And morning comes around for all of you, I guess. Does anyone else have anything else that they do during the night/evening?
Well, I'm probably going to send an email to a few people. Well, would it be called email or station mail or?
We can just say email the equivalent of for now. A message to a few people.
I'll send a message to members of the party that we had yesterday, to Mercy's mom as well, and the station manager, saying, you know, it's time for a little ceremony because Mercy has said she's going to take the declaration thing that medics are supposed to take.
Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah. I think it has a different name now since it's not from directly Hippocrates. Send an email to all of them, inviting them, and also an email to like Mercy saying, bring like I don't know, a religious text, something that's important to you, whatever, to swear upon.
Very well, you do so.
I also take that weird little data chip that has the footage of our little salvage operation and label it the Bosphorus Occupational Medical Synod Notes.
Understood.
Just stick that in a drawer for later, just in case we need to have a look at the footage again.
Barry, before going to sleep, will call Cassandra and tell her that he won't be able to come into work the following day.
Do you call her or send her a message?
Let's send a message.
Okay. You get an extremely furious message back from Cassandra saying how this is a very important time and she can't be missing you. And cast style.
Does she say that if I don't come to work, I'm fired?
No, she doesn't say that.
Right then. So he does send. Barry does send a message to Edward saying that he'll be there for the ceremony.
Okay, you do so. Okay, anything else for the evening?
Doesn't sound like it.
Nope.
Nope. I think that's a no.
In the night, the scene that we role-played earlier occurs with Miller and Gibbo and the Nightmare.
Very well. Do you want to give a quick recap of it for the viewers?
Yeah, sure. In the middle of the night, Miller wakes up screaming and brandishing his gun, and Gibbo has to go in and calm him down. And they talk of old times, and it becomes apparent that there was a boarding action that Miller is reliving that is something to do with the Vandal during his Navy service, and that Gibson was probably there and knows some of the dead people that Miller is ranting about. Once he calms him down, Gibbo leaves, and quiet returns.
Yes. That was just from the technical difficulties I got cut out, so. The night passes. Morning comes. You all have the ceremony for Mercy. Did you want to actually roleplay it out?
Sure. Yes.
So is everyone attending?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, might as well.
Barry puts a hood on and puts it up to try and hide his face as he walks through the corridors.
Okay.
Miller puts on his best clothes.
Cassandra also shows up in her normal uniform.
Richard will wear his equivalent of dress blues.
Miller will put his old military stuff on because it's all he's got that isn't stained.
Does the station have like an emergency automated medical droid for just basic triage and things?
They have like these medical beds that you get inside of, and they have like a sort of glass cover on them, and they can do most basic medical functions robotically.
I was hoping there's like a weird Asimo robot that can just sit in the corner and watch.
No, it's not like that. The beds still normally require someone to activate them, but for like the most basic things, like you could have it done automatically. There are places where you can have more things done automatically, but this facility isn't outfitted with such technology.
Or she just showed up with a blood-stained scrubs.
Oh gosh. Barry.
Fresh scrubs and say, go and change. That's It's very silly of you.
It's fine. It's appropriate, I think.
You know it. You know it's not. You can't go around wet blood all over the place.
It's fine. It's dried. It's from yesterday.
But you would actually know that that is considered hazardous waste going around with other people's blood all over the... That's got to be like medical 101.
She
Right.
must have drunk that day when they teach that. Fine. I'll go and put up a fresh bunch. These people and their medical hazard shit.
Miller takes Mercy back to her mother's.
Edward, this isn't the first time you've had this conversation with her, and you don't think it'll be the last?
See, your dress sense is still the same as usual, baby doll.
I mean, what's wrong with it? It's colorful. It's good. I mean,
That's one way to put it.
it shows personality. It does.
Whatever. Not that one. That one. Looks
What's
regal.
wrong with this one?
That's. You look like a stripper, honey. Yeah, that one.
You gifted that dress to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How mean! Oh my god, I'm gonna sacrifice this to the casino tomorrow.
Hey,
Fine, this one.
you wear it well. Sit.
It's not a compliment. Alright, let's do this swearing thingy.
Miller rubs a dab of blood off Mercy's cheek and makes sure that she's. There you go.
The two of you head out to do this. While you do so, the rest of you are sort of back, waiting for them to return. And Barry, you have like 2 daggers staring at you, and you can just feel like a shiver down your spine as this woman is like looking at you.
Richard wanders over to Barry and sort of looks at him and goes, "Good job at being incognito, dude."
I didn't know she'd be here. Who invited her?
She's head of the complex, and this is important for being a doctor. So, you're in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Barry puts his hood down.
As you do so, you kind of, Cassandra sort of wanders over to you, and
Richard steps back and watches with glee.
and Barry, for the first time ever, you actually see her smile, like genuinely smile, but it just comes off as like looking extremely creepy. And she says, "Barry, my good friend, I'm so happy to see you here."
Yes. Miraculously, my illness passed overnight. I just hadn't told you yet, Mom.
Oh, I'm sure you just came here to have it treated, didn't you, Barry?
I need a beer.
She sort of smiles and she says, "Well, I have good news for you. It just so happens that perhaps it would be time for you to leave the station."
What do you want me to do?
Well, you do remember that thing that I had you check up on yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We've got it serviceable enough. And we need someone to take care of it.
Right.
It's attracting a little bit of unwanted attention.
Anyone, will I be on the ship on my own?
Well, considering your little gang went on the ship before, I was thinking you could take them with you.
Will it just be us?
Well, here's the thing. The buyer I had lined up can't exactly... How do I put this? Afford to buy the salvage. But they do have a job that's serviceable for such a beast. And as part of the deal, they could get it a new transponder code. Do you catch my drift? Think about it. 5% of salvage are 5% of a new Kirk with transponder codes.
Hmm. So I'm just fixing this as much as I can. Bringing this lot with me.
The thing is, you need to first go to a predetermined location. And then once you meet up with them, you'll head from there to the person who's going to get you the final repairs. But it's going to be a long journey considering you have to make that leg of it without transponder codes.
Sure.
So,
That sounds peachy clean.
well, there is one problem.
Only one?
Yes, well, as part of the deal, you're going to need to transport some goods for them.
Okay.
Something that... Well, let's just say it would be best if you don't ask about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you'll need another pretense to be traveling, so I was hoping you could talk to your friends and think of something.
Yeah, they seem to know a bit more than me about coming up with stuff like that.
Yes, I'll be in contact with you further, Barry. For now, she kind of turns over to Edward and she says, I do hope that this goes well. And then she sort of gives a nod to Edward and she leaves the facility.
So everyone could hear that then?
Yeah, everyone. She wasn't trying to keep it secret from anyone in the room. So Richard, Edward, and Erica.
Isn't Mercy's mom in the room?
We'll just say that she went with Mercy to help her get.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
gonna raise my eyebrow and leave.
She kind of heads out, and about that time, Miller, and
just,
Mercy.
Just before she leaves, Barry grabs her arm. Cassandra, do they know who I am?
Oh no, they don't know who you are. Just don't show your face. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Good, because I don't want to be mixing up with that kind of person too much. You get what I mean? More danger than it's worth.
Well, where else are you going to find someone who can get new transponder codes?
Just don't want you throwing my name around willy-nilly.
Don't worry about it. If you need before we go, I can get you some facial reconstruction. As she says that, you kind of get the feeling she doesn't mean a very sophisticated thing.
She means an iron bar.
Barry exhales and kind of leans against a wall, falling to the ground, sliding down the wall.
She'll take that and kind of leave. As she leaves you, Miller, you see Cass leaving the room, and she sort of has like, you're kind of surprised because she has this very like creepy looking smile. You've never seen her smile in all the years that you've been with her. She has this very creepy looking smile on her face, and it definitely sends like a shiver down your spine as well. And she sort of gives like a little wave to you with her fingers as she's heading out.
Well, that was creepy.
Who made her happy? That was weird.
Ask Barry.
You walk in, you see Barry sat on the floor, leaning against the wall, looking utterly miserable.
Normal service resumes. Let's get the show on the road.
Okay.
Miller puts his pork pie hat on with his dress uniform.
All right. Mercy, stand up here with me. What did you bring to swear on?
I have this. And she takes our little necklace, with her mom's picture inside, like a locket.
Ah, swearing on your mother's life, I see.
Just her picture.
You see your mother there. She's kind of blushes in embarrassment at this.
Miller nudges Gibbo in the ribs. See, I told you it wasn't going to be the arm. What are you thinking, pal?
Okay.
They didn't let me keep it.
That's why.
I'm not sure who's worse, you or her.
You see Mercy's mother chime in, and she goes, "Oh, it's definitely her, but only by a small amount."
I wink.
Mama.
Okay, let's do this before medicine becomes a complete joke.
Too late.
Please hold the token in your left hand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. Are you ready?
Yes.
As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity.
That was very long. She repeats.
The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration.
She also repeats that, but she's growing more confused by the second.
I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient.
Yeah.
A gesture. gesture my hand like it's. You have to say all of the words.
Oh, fine. I will respect whatever.
All of the words.
What
Autonomy
was it,
and dignity of my patient.
I will respect those things, yes.
It's good enough, I guess. I think you're going to have real trouble with this one. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life.
She sighs. I will, yes, maintain it, of course.
I will not permit considerations of social standing, ethnicity, planetary origin, political affiliation, race, gender, sex, or sexual orientation, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient.
But what if one is my friend and what one is my enemy, and then
Mercy!
I only have. She swears.
I will respect the secrets that are confided in me, even should my patient die.
Yes. Maybe?
Okay, I'm just going to skip the next one because that one's never going to happen. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare.
Oh, that I can do. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can go with this one. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard.
I mean, we don't really have a high standard here, but sure.
Good. Okay, good. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights.
Aww.
Not all. This one's the most important, I think.
That's just the laughing I was doing with push to talk. There's far more going on.
There's a long, sustained silence and suspense in the air as she...
Mercy, your mother just kind of looks over to you, and you see like this kind of look in her eyes, and she places a hand on your shoulder without even saying anything.
I will do that. Yes.
I will not use my medical knowledge to violate civil liberties, even under threat.
Maybe the doctor wasn't the best job for me.
Mercy,
Could I
this is what you've always
reconsider?
dreamed of.
Yes, mother, but it's just that these terms and conditions are a little not fun at all.
It was on the first page of all of your medical textbooks. Didn't you ever read them?
Not the first page, though.
Well, patients, people who are injured and sick, you know, it's frightening to be in that situation. And so when someone comes along and says, I'm a doctor, I can help, or even if they're not a doctor, just if they say they can help, all of the trust that they put on that person, it's really important that you be able to live up to that trust so that you can actually help people. And you want to help people, don't you?
I do.
Okay. So, I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat.
Yes.
Okay. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor, such as it is.
Should have added soberly.
On my
Dominic.
honor. Yes.
Okay. This is the worst oath ceremony I've ever seen, but it is an official oath ceremony. I've sent an application to the Interstellar Health Organization with your record here and the fact that you've sworn an oath. And so, provisionally, you are legally able to practice medicine without supervision.
Ooh.
And may God have mercy on our souls.
Not our souls I'm worried about.
No doubt in about 8 months when it gets to Earth, they'll put a big rejected on it and we'll have to go back over this again. But until then...
Mercy, your mother is so happy. She's almost crying as she comes over and gives you a hug.
Oh, Mama. Stop it. You're gonna make me cry too.
I'm so proud of you, Mercy.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to head back over to the apartment, and if all of you could meet back there in an hour, I will have a very special surprise for all of you.
Oh, okay.
And she sort of smiles and gives you another hug before leaving the room.
Oh, you softy. Go on then.
I'll see you soon.
Congratulations, girl. You did good.
Thank you. And thank you, Edward, for trying at least.
Well, you can thank me by not killing anyone.
Aw, I can't promise that.
I think you just did.
Well, not on purpose, but you know, accidents happen.
Remind me to make sure if I'm ever shot, I'm not anywhere near here.
Well, I mean, I think you'd be okay near Edward. Just, you know.
Hey, look, if I didn't think she had the skills, I wouldn't have done this.
Fair?
Hear that, guys? I got the skills.
Skills aren't the problem.
Let's
Ah, well, congratulations, you're now a medic.
Why, thank you. May you never need my services, you guys.
Yep, definitely.
But you
well,
know, need them because I need practice, okay?
well, we might need your services reasonably soon.
Why?
Well, these guys didn't mention, but Cassandra's got us on another job.
I think it was probably best not to talk about it in front of your mom.
Particularly
Oh, yeah.
considering who we may be working with.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Wasn't thinking straight. We'll talk later.
Oh, you don't have to worry about her. She's tight-lipped.
It's her I'm worried about, not who she talks to.
Oh, that's serious, huh?
Didn't she already leave and say go to her place in an hour?
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah.
So it looks like we can talk freely about Cassandra's latest adventure.
So, basically, instead of selling the ship, we're going to take the ship, do some form of smuggling job, and then get some officiation for it.
And a new
Yeah.
code for the ship.
That's the officiation. It makes it official.
Officiation is a very official word.
Exactly.
And technically, just because we've got a transponder code does not mean it's an official one.
Well, official to those who are looking on the outside.
Maybe
The
I could pretend I'm a
real-
luchador.
The real problem is having some form of cover story for why you're traveling on a ship. Because, no offense, but you lot are the shadiest, least trustworthy people I've ever met.
We try.
I'm just saying, you pull up to a dock, people ask you what you're doing here, they take one look at you or Miller, and you're getting blasted.
Look at Miller and go, she's right.
I think it's the hat that does it.
7 Miller's BRB, so insert his snappy comeback. So, what I'm proposing is this ship is the official tour bus of Rose and the Freebirds.
That's a pretty good cover, actually.
Yeah, that kind of means we have to have that psycho on board.
Like we don't
Psychos.
have Miller on board as a psycho?
Miller's not a psycho. I know exactly how Miller's going to handle things.
And I know exactly
You're-
how my friends are going to handle things.
Yeah, she's going to get drunk and start fights.
So who's the cover story for?
In case we get stopped in on the route.
If we're spotted by an official patrol in a ship without a transponder code, we're probably just going to be blasted out of the sky.
But it gives us some cover.
We need another story for if officials stop us, though.
Do we?
Is there a story we could tell them that would get us off the hook? I can't think of anything.
Well, you know, we picked this ship up cheap. It had been blasted so bad it, you know, lost all its identification. We were just on our way to get some new identification. Clearly, we're just civilians. You know, no threat here.
Civilians in an incredibly expensive ship that has all of these recent patch jobs.
Well, the recent patch
And
jobs are
no
why we
transponder.
could afford it.
What? What are the laws on if your code thingy gets broken?
Generally, the code thingy doesn't get broken. The only reason why you wouldn't have a code thingy is because you broke it. And
Yeah,
that's
someone else-
illegal.
Or in case it got broke in combat.
What happens if someone else sabotages your ship that way? Is there
You're
any
supposed to get an
recompense?
official contact nearest authorities and get a replacement.
Well, if your transponder's broken, you could give them your information manual, and I assume they could look it up in a database.
Look, the story is we picked it up cheap and it didn't have this stuff, so we were just on our way to get it. Simple. If we're at the stage where they're even asking questions instead of shooting at us, that's a win for me.
Yes, that is true.
Yep, very true.
So, Miller, to recap, since we need a cover story for the ship and what we're doing, the ship is the tour bus of my band.
Okay.
Because everyone else on the ship is insanely shady.
Some Mercy were even Slim Shady.
Hey,
So-
you looking at me like that, lady?
What are we gonna say here about having well, me and Mercy are the official medical staff of the station.
I'm sure Cassandra could cover for it.
Here's what we do. Fire a torp. Wait till it gets away from the station. Triggers a distress call. We have to bundle onto this piece of scrap as the only ship available in the sector that's got, medical facilities. We go rescue, and then we're off the station. Then we try and avoid contact. If anybody sees us, we can use Erica's band cover story, or we've got, ill people on board. Whatever.
Well, I've got you covered there.
Why, are you ill? What's wrong?
Constant, crippling pain, darling. Sorry, Miss White.
I'm sure we can do something about that.
Probably couldn't afford it. No, definitely couldn't afford it.
I'm sure she can give it to you for cheap, just as practice.
Practice?
You know, like trainee hairdressers. You get your hair cut cheap and they get to practice.
I don't think it works the same with medical practice.
You really should tell me if you've got constant pain. Get on the medical bed. Let's see if we can find out anything about it.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Barry, you see like a smile of like pure elation on Mercy's face.
She's very excited.
It's I suppose can't do any harm. You are trained professionals.
One of us
Oh,
is a professional.
Okay,
The other one's just trained.
You're not selling it to me, Doc. All right. Fine. Cut.
Patient must be fully informed before they can consent.
Oh wait. I've got alcohol in the system, Doc. I don't think you can work on me.
Ever. He means ever.
Get on the bed.
Fine.
People have been dealing with alcohol since people existed.
And Barry gets up off the floor and walks over to the medical bed. Does everyone else have to be in here for this?
Well, if you don't want them to be here, they can go.
Well, I don't know what you're going to do.
I'm just going to have the bed scan you. I'm not going to take your clothes off or anything.
All right then.
Here, roll me medical.
It doesn't hurt, does it, Doc? The scan.
Don't think so.
You're not selling it to me, Doc.
Can I
Again.
help too?
Sure, you can assist. Make me a roll to see if you help.
Oh no, a 1 and a 3.
Yeah, the two of you together are able to scan Barry. Barry, do you have anything wrong with you? That you out of character?
It's basically my strength and dexterity being injured from my character development when I was
Oh yeah.
marooned on the planet.
You guys find that Barry has like some sort of like chronic injuries that could possibly be repaired, but they would take like a super high level facility. Something that would only exist on like Terra or Earth. And both places would be super expensive either way.
This is some real long-term damage you've got here, Barry.
Yeah.
I could
Life of a
fix
Belgian.
it, but we don't have any of the required equipment on the station.
Oh, well. At least you had a look, Doc. Thanks. Scan didn't hurt. At least there's that.
Well, we just bombarded your body with intense amounts of radiation, that's all.
Oh. Well, can I still drink?
Yep. Although, wouldn't do too much of it.
That's the only painkiller I got, Doc.
No more than, no, what is the actual recommended allowance of alcohol? Let me have a look. Because real me is not actually a doctor.
It's recommended, not mandatory.
It's only something like about 18 units
No more
a
than
week.
no more than 2 units a week. I mean, not a week, a day.
That's only one beer, Doc.
Well,
One beer a day.
1 beer a day or 7 on Sunday.
I'll take it under recommendation more than anything, Doc, if you don't mind.
Anyway, we can't deal with this damage, but I can probably give you some sort of painkiller. Given how extensive it is, it's just going to lessen it. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's been
We've
quite a few years.
we've got stronger stuff, but it'd put you to sleep.
Yeah. It's all right, Doc. I've been dealing with this for, nearly 10 years now. You get used to it eventually. Hopefully that happens anytime soon. Don't worry yourself. Now then. We've got stuff to do, ain't we?
But what is the status of healthcare in the UEE? I mean, have I just charged Barry's insurance 10 credits or something, or is it like Space NHS?
It depends on the facility. Barry, you're actually... You're not a citizen, you're just...
Yeah.
Yeah, so for care of this level, you wouldn't be charged. But if you wanted like more advanced care, then you wouldn't be able to get it. Someone like Miller or Richard, I think, would have an easier time, since they're citizens, getting more advanced care without having to pay anything.
I thought Barry did get to be a citizen in the end.
Not here. I was a citizen elsewhere.
Well, citizen in this world usually means you did some sort of like service for the government. The most common is military, but you could have been like a politician or like a scientist working for them in some way.
Right. Citizen was merely the class. I was just a worker then.
Yeah, you were just a worker. There's a difference between that's just like something in the book.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, because you qualified for citizen in the character creation.
Yes, but citizen in this universe it has a significance.
Yeah, I remember that now. It's just
like the Roman Empire.
Anyway, I'm glad just a scan doesn't end up putting you in medical bankruptcy.
But I didn't even think about that, thank goodness. I need a beer.
Well, maybe Mercy's mother has some with this surprise she's cooked up.
I'll bring
Talking of
some
which,
with me just in case. sorry, Miller.
talking of which, it's about time we moseyed on over there. What do you say?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll turn my emergency space pager on and follow everyone down.
Okay.
I'll show them the way.
Oh, Mercy can have an emergency space pager now as well.
Miller hacks it
What? Why?
without you knowing. Just so he knows where you are. Let me see that there, doll. Nice, shiny. You did good. He gives it back to her.
Isn't it though?
You're a real doc now, just like you always dreamed.
I didn't think it was going to be this easy.
Don't call yourself a doctor, that's illegal.
Why, I took the oath and everything.
Yes, you can practice medicine, but they won't like it if you don't have a doctorate.
Aww.
Okay, so you head back over, and as you sort of open the door to your apartment, a sweet smell kind of is filling the air. And your mother is standing there with what looks to be a cake with white icing. And there's sort of, with red icing spelled out, congratulations, Mercy. And
Aww.
there's some like candles that are like red and white, sort of decorating the edges of the cake.
Mama, you're the best.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that this occasion was absolutely fantastic. I made it myself, and I baked it with all real ingredients. There's even fresh eggs and milk.
Where did you get those?
That must have cost you a fortune.
Where did she get the money for those?
Only a small one. I just have a few connections I've been saving up for quite a few weeks. Well, quite a few months. Now come on, have a slice.
Oh, yes, yes. She kind of skips over to the table where it's them.
Do you blow out the candles?
Yes.
You kind of blow out the candles, and then your mother kind of cuts a piece of the cake for all of you. It looks like extremely like fresh, and like you can see that she wasn't lying just from like the texture of it. It doesn't look like the standard prefab you'd get out of a machine. Oh, no issue at all, Miller. If it weren't for you, I don't know if Mercy ever would have reached this point.
Oh, she'd have got here without me, miss. Don't worry about that. Miller puts his hat on Mercy's head.
Oh? Do I look good?
You're only the second person ever to wear that hat after me.
I feel so special.
I feel naked.
I won't give it back.
Sorry, kid. Gonna have to ask for it back at some point. But it's yours for the day.
Yay. It's like a crown. I like it.
You wear it well, Seth.
Turn to Edward and you made her a medical professional?
She can do the job if she feels like it.
Come on, Gibson. Stop being so sour on the lady.
I'll remind you that next time you're under the knife when she's the one doing the cutting.
I don't think I'll be able to afford being under the knife, but I'll take your word for it.
Take a slice of the cake and hold it up to Mercy and go, congrats, and just take a great big bite of it.
As you bite into the cake, it tastes like absolutely like delicious. You've never had anything quite this good, you think, before.
Your name, Miss... Barry says towards the mother.
Oh, you can just call me Miss Wise.
Well, thank you very much for having us, Miss White, and congratulations on your daughter's success. And congratulations to you, Mercy.
Thank you.
And Erica, as you have a bite of the cake, it's a taste that's actually oddly familiar to you from when you were younger.
Mercy kind of just left all decency at the window. And she's just eating with her hands now. It's everywhere.
Watch
So-
the hat, says Miller.
So's Richard. He's just never, he didn't put the pit slice down. He just kept stuffing it further and further into his mouth.
Barry, for you especially, this is like a delicacy that you've only dreamed of.
Oh, wow, I remember this cake. Mrs. White, you made this for Mercy when she was in college. I remember it. Sort of. I think we were drunk.
From what I could tell in college, you were permanently drunk.
No, I wasn't. I passed.
It's an old white recipe, but that cake that I made for her back in college was with prefab ingredients. This is all fresh.
Grade A1. I haven't had real eggs since, well, I was back on Terra.
She sort of goes into into the counter. She opens up like the refrigerator, and it's just like, it's not like a full refrigerator. It's just like a little tiny thing. And she pulls out. You can see there's sort of like a bit of like milk left, and she kind of pours a small glass for each of you. Not like a full glass, but like just like a little tiny like half glass, because there's not that much left after she made the cake. There's only a little bit.
You sure, man?
Oh yes, that's why I bought it. So
Miller crouches as if it's almost a religious rite. Looks at each of his companions in turn, and then downs it.
It's quite good, very rich. Noticeably, she doesn't pour a glass for herself. She kind of rations it out for all of you.
Thank you. Thank
To
you.
Medic White.
To Mercy.
For Mercy.
Aw, to my mama.
No, to Mercy. Congratulations, sweetie.
To my mama. Without her, I would not be here. Cheers.
To
Cheers.
the Whites.
And she takes a little sip and then passes it on to her mother. We share everything in this house.
Thank you, sweetie. And she'll have a small sip as well.
Excuse me, I need to use the John, Mrs. White.
Oh, yes, go right ahead.
So, Erica, will you, sing me a song?
Well,
Come on. Please?
oh well, I mean,
Can you say no to that pretty little face?
It's full of cake, that face.
well, normally I'd have to charge you, but since it's a special occasion, I'm sure I can. Just this once. Erica will kind of set up her comb to play a bit of a backing track, just so she got something to sing over, and she'll give a bit of a song, like kind of a spiced up happy birthday type. No, not happy birthday. Congratulatory sounding song.
Nice. I will record that.
Do you want to perform a role?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so you put on a good performance. What sort of performance do you give? What do you do?
If there's space in the house, I'll kind of move up to one side of the room, just kind of standing. Less energetic than her usual shows, more just a sort of calm, happy sounding song. Mainly directed at Mercy.
Mercy blushes a little. And this is turning out to be the happiest day of my life. I got a cake. I almost got to be a doctor. What else? Oh, special performance from Erica. Almost feels wrong today. Like something bad's about to happen.
When she finishes, she'll kind of shake her head and say, sorry, that wasn't my best. Just caught me off guard and I don't have the band with me, so...
Oh, don't worry, you were great. I recorded everything.
You still got it. What can I say?
Yeah, Erica will excuse herself and take a moment to step outside. You've probably noticed she hasn't quite finished her cake.
Oh, going so soon?
No, just getting some air. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, alright. Wait, Joseph, did I do something?
No, I'm sure it's fine, Buttercup. You just enjoy the day. And don't get that cream on my hat.
Aww. I'll
He
keep
kisses
it
her on
there.
he kisses her on the nose and goes out.
what is everyone else gonna do?
Hmm. Small talk, I guess.
You have some small talk for the evening, enjoying your time together. I imagine, Miller, you're going to send out a message to everyone.
Yeah.
Partway through the day.
Aye.
So how did you get so banged up, Barry?
Oh, you know, life as a belter, really, really tough. There's not a lot behind this lie. Miss White, do you mind if I have a drink? And he takes a bottle out of his coat pocket.
Oh, go right ahead. We have some. She looks over at Erica, or sorry, not Erica, at Mercy, and she says, "We have some alcohol left over. If any of you want some."
It's all right. I won't take anything off you.
We shouldn't, you know. Well, it's mine. My alcohol.
If you've got a beer, I'll have one, please.
Barry takes out another beer and gets it to Richard.
You
No.
missed the point.
Now, Mercy, what did I tell you about sharing with your friends?
He's not my friend.
Oh, come now, it's a celebration.
Yes,
Gibson.
my celebration. Fine, take it.
I can see why you and Miller get on so well.
What's
See,
that supposed to mean?
It's comments like that, Gibson, that lead to her not saying you're her friend.
That's why the waitress didn't like you at all.
Miss White comes over and brings over some drinks for everyone.
Thank you, Miss White.
Oh, not for me, thanks. I'm still on duty.
Yes, I understand.
Mercy takes one.
As you're about to, she kind of pulls away. She says, "Aren't you on duty as well? I almost forgot about that."
But Mom,
Now, you can wait until after your shift is over.
but they're taken.
Oh, that
I'll,
reminds me.
I'll
now
have
that-
that, thank you very much, and reach up and deliberately take the cup glass that was Mercy's out of her hand.
Barry,
Now that you can be unsupervised, we're going to have to talk about who's staffing the clinic at night.
Barry raises his bottle to chink with Gibson's.
Clink.
Sorry.
Watch your backs, boys. Watch your backs.
I always do. It's how I've stayed alive this long.
Yeah.
I'm just humouring him, Mercy. He needs someone to like him.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Why so bitter all the time? Relax a little, live a little.
Is there any cake left?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of cake.
Girl, when you've seen as much combat as me, you'll learn life's a bitch.
Mrs. Miller, I wonder if you wouldn't mind if I took a bit of the cake for a friend of mine?
Oh, yes, I'll pack some up for you. I'm just so glad. Mercy
Would
used
that-
to only be friends with Miller, but she's made so many friends recently.
Richard rolls his eyes.
Gibson.
Not you.
Gives her, just
Now,
gives Mercy a
Mercy.
big smile.
He showed up for your ceremony. You two have to have at least some bit of friendliness to you.
Gibson.
I mean, we are not acquaintances.
You were watching my back the other day. That counts in my book.
Cheers.
Mercy, your mother goes over into the cabinet and she reaches down and she pulls out like a false bottom in one of the shelves. And there's nothing in there except for this like small little sort of square thing which she pulls out. And she walks over and she puts it in your hands. And she says, "This is for you."
Mama, what's this?
You look and you see it's a set of playing cards, but it looks very ancient. It's definitely what would be considered like an antique. It's been passed down into the family for I don't know how many generations.
And it looks at it and take a look at each card and the pictures.
The whole deck has clearly been heavily played over the years. But even its faded color still seems to hold some value to it, to your mother. And you can sort of tell that this deck of cards probably has been passed down for at least like 5 or 6 generations, if not more.
She hugs her mom. Thank you, Mama.
Yes, and, well, with your new responsibilities, I think you're finally mature enough to take care of it.
I will treasure it.
Yes.
Are they playable at the time?
Play a what?
Yeah, you know, like games and.
Oh, yes.
Do you know any?
Well, perhaps,
Wanna teach us?
perhaps we can play a few games with it, but it really is an artifact. It's not meant to be played too much.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Very well. She'll take the deck of cards and she sits down and begins sort of passing cards around for all of you. She handles the deck very expertly, and in fact, so much so you get the feeling that she probably has worked dealing with cards at some point in the past. Either that or she's played quite a few games.
Ooh. Showing off, Mama.
She sort of blushes a little bit and she says, "Oh no, I just do this without even thinking about it. Now, come on, all of you sit around. Let's play a nice wholesome game. Perhaps Go Fish?"
Sure. Come on, boy.
I don't think I've heard of that one. Give it a go.
Barry types in "Go Fish" wiki on his on his communicator.
What about Old Maid?
Barry starts typing, deleting Go Fish Wiki and starts typing in, oh, May.
You'll have to teach us, Mama.
Oh, I'll have to teach you quite a few things. She kind of looks around at the table. How about blackjack? I'm sure you're familiar with that one.
21 wins?
Yes.
Alright.
He begins passing around the cards.
Roll D30, and if you get...
No, all of you begin playing a few games, and we cut to Miller and Erica having a conversation.
Oh, but there's a gambler skill. Should we do that and see who wins?
Sure, you can all roll your gambler skill if you wish.
I don't have that. Or do I?
I don't have it.
We'll
Would
come.
it count as carouse?
I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head.
It says intelligence in the manual on all the examples.
Well, what skill is it?
Oh, gambler.
Oh, yeah, it's actually gambler. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. So yeah, it's intelligence plus your your gambler skill and your intelligence. So if you have jack of all trades, you can always use that, of course.
Woo! We'll do that after.
Yes.
Then Erica. That's a bit.
Did you two want to pick up?
Erica's gone back inside.
Oh,
We were about done.
very well.
Well, welcome back. Deal them in.
Nah, I don't touch cards anymore. Besides, got some work later on, people. Meeting my quarters at 0800 hours, and we hear what this Cassandra's got to say about her latest gig. Questions in advance.
Miller, you see, the cards being dealt out are like ancient things. You've seen this sort of thing in antique shops on Terra before, but like never actually being used to play a game.
My granddad used to tell me about this. Used to play it on the old ships.
Come on then. One game won't hurt anybody.
I'll just
Whatever.
watch if you don't mind.
Okay. Miller takes his hat back off Mercy. Flops it on his head.
What? It was gonna bring me luck.
Yeah. That's why I needed it back, Cupcake.
Oh, please pull all my luck away.
And I thought I did bad.
Oh.
What is it? A untrained skill?
Yeah.
Intelligence untrained if you don't have the gambler skill. Or jack of all trades.
Let's go.
Oh my, can I get another roll from Edward, Erica, and
Are
Miller?
you sure that's not -3?
Yeah, that doesn't have
yeah,
your.
that's true.
Yeah.
It isn't.
Yeah, and it's untrained,
That's
so
fine.
I guess just between Erica and Edward then.
Yeah,
Another one then.
Mm-hmm. House wins.
House always wins.
You play a few rounds. Over the rounds, it seems Edward and Erica win the most, but Edward probably takes the most rounds aside from Miss White, who the house seems to always claim for many of the rounds. You kind of wonder if she's stacking the deck sometimes. there's a few times, Edward, where you think you're gonna win, and then you end up like busting by pulling like a 10.
Hidden talents. Miller gives Mercy back his head. I'm out, kid.
You stole my luck and then you go. Alright, I see how it is.
What's this business with Cassandra?
Oh, nothing. Just a bit of station business, Mrs. White. Nothing to worry about.
You know what she's like.
Well, that's true.
Thing to do.
Mercy, Mrs. White, everyone, it was a great day. I'm afraid I'm going to have to head on out. Got to clean up my apartment. Mercy, you know what a slob I am. I'll talk to you later, guys.
All right.
Sure.
I better go as well.
Yeah.
Clinic's still on a emergency automated service, so thank you so much for the cake and the milk. It was a
Yes.
very fun time.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yes.
very nice, thank you.
I do hope you visit again. And she sort of hands like a neatly wrapped piece of cake to you, Edward. For your friend.
Thank you.
Is that for Morgan?
Yeah.
Interesting seduction style.
Well, no wonder that waitress hated you if you think it's so noteworthy that I'm going to take a bit of cake to my girlfriend, mate.
Yeah, you've tasted that cake.
It's a good cake.
It's beyond good, dude. Yeah. Have a nice time at work. Richard heads back towards his room as well.
Sure.
Well, I ain't gonna get away with not working now. God damn it. I just have to keep my head low. See you guys.
You check your logs, Barry, and you have no currently assigned task for work. In fact, it looks like you're not even on the list when you try to log into the system. Nothing comes up.
Maybe I should catch up on my music then. I think I'm on the 90s.
Guess I'll head back and check in with my friends.
Very well.
What sort of time are we at? Sort of in-game?
This is probably like around like midday. Equivalently. Obviously there's no days
Yeah,
on the station.
Of course.
There is like lighting on the station that changes dynamically based on like human clock timers. So it's somewhat similar in like a 24-hour cycle.
All right.
So, you go and you check up on your bandmates. They're all currently sitting around kind of going over some of your recent songs, trying to write a new one.
How's it coming along?
Coming along to what, sorry?
Morgan looks up and she says, "Oh my God, we're like on our total roadblock right now."
Well, suppose we just need some new inspiration. Maybe being stuck in one place too long's not been good for our creative talent.
Yeah, like I can't stand being cooped up in here, but it's like so expensive to travel around the verse.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying anything, but keep equipment packed, keep bags ready, keep an eye out for messages from me, just in case.
Oh, it sounds like you need to give me the scoop.
I said I'm not saying anything, Morgan.
Oh, come on, just like a little bit. Come on, we're like best friends. Just a little teensy bit.
Listen, you know I trust you guys, all three of you. That's why we're here together. But this... just trust me on this one. It might not pan out, but I'll let you know. You'll be the first.
Oh, I'll definitely be the first.
Also, Carla, if there's anyone that needs decked before, you know, you might not get the chance to deck them again, get on it.
I dealt with that yesterday.
Perfect.
You see, Drawn is sort of there, and he just says,
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I mean, as much a plan as we've ever had.
he just sort of nods. And then he goes back to kind of looking over on they're all like kind of crowded around a screen, sort of playing around, going over the notes for the next song.
I guess I'll kind of give them a hand with it until it's time to go meet Miller and the gang.
All right, can you give me performance with, I would say, intelligence? Okay, you make some good progress on it for the evening, you think? Though there's still something with it that's not quite right. You can't get your finger on it.
Right. Well, take a break, guys. I've got to head out for a bit, but comms on. Stay ready, and I will see you later.
Yeah, like we'll do.
Right, and with that, I will head out and head in to the room Miller mentioned.
Very well. How about for the rest of you?
Richard gets back to his room and just basically keeps for till about 15 minutes before he has to go to the meeting,
Anderson?
and gets himself ready and heads over to the makes the short journey to the room next door.
Mercy's gonna help her clean out after the party, and she's gonna safely tuck her new playing cards under her pillow. And then she's gonna head out to the med bay and to until the time.
Very well. Well, if no one has anything else that they do, the time comes and all of you head to the designated area. I believe it was Miller's room.
Mm-hmm.
And Cass will show up an hour after all of you, but all of you meet up first.
Welcome here. Welcome in, people. Welcome, welcome. Come on in.
Blimey,
Really,
you actually cleaned up.
Yeah, well, I said I was. You know, I'm pushing the boat out here. Got to make an impression, pal.
Who to?
I don't want Cass thinking we're low-life scum. Or Erica, he whispers.
I mean, aren't you?
Well,
She just
whatever,
say with a
bitch.
smirk.
Oh, Erica, that's not necessarily cruel.
She'll shrug, and she seems to have a smile on her face, like she doesn't mean it to be like cruel.
Just cruel.
Just regular cruel.
I like it. Close out.
Oh, I take it you don't want me bringing a drink in, mate. Oh,
Don't worry, Barry. I know you feel more comfortable with it, and I want people comfortable. Okay, we got Earl Grey, Lapsang Shusha, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, also, there's this jasmine tea. I've kind of been chain drinking it for the last few days. I can recommend it.
You
Well,
just have a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Bog
Yeah,
standard
I
normal
wasn't
coffee.
asking you, Gibbo. I put the coffee machine on half an hour ago. And you know it's not real coffee, though, right? It's that shit they serve down at the Zocalo.
It'll do. Wanders
Yeah, it's
over
hot and wet,
pulls-
pal.
Wanders over and pulls himself a cup of coffee.
After everyone has their drink, Miller says, "So, Barry, why don't you get us up to speed on what the dear Cass said to you?"
Oh. Basically, she wants us to travel in that ship to a specified location. On the way, we deliver some cargo, and yeah, I think the people buying it don't have the money yet. They'll have it where we're going.
She was saying that instead of buying the ship, they're just going to have the ship run a job for them. And in exchange, they can get transponder codes for it.
And then she can sell it for more on the open market.
Yeah. Well, there's only one place I can think of that you can get new transponder codes, and I don't think we want to be going there. Coupled with which, we ain't going to find out where we're going until we're actually in transit. And that, boys and girls, is a very dangerous situation. I don't like it. I wouldn't be surprised if our friend Cassandra hasn't sold Barry and the rest of us out.
Do we have a choice?
Oh, there's always a choice.
The choice is we do it or we sit here on this piece of junk for the rest of our lives.
Well, when you put it like that,
It's a choice, it's just not a palatable one.
well, she's made the ship space-worthy. There's a lot of places we could go. I mean, without a transponder, we're going to have some problems, but ship's long range, got good fuel scoops. At least get off this rock, of this tin can.
Well, I'll go if Edward goes.
I'm not really thinking about just sitting in deep space in a stolen ship.
Me either. I just want to get off the station.
Well, if you really want to, I think maybe you'll have to take her up on that deal then.
It ain't gonna go smooth, just so you know, people. This is not what it looks like, okay? That I can guarantee 100%.
Whatever it really is, Cassandra's really happy about it.
Yeah, and that should have us all worried, pal. Last time that bitch smiled, T-Rex was walking the earth.
What? He's a music performer from like 1,000 years ago.
I'm talking about the dinosaur. That's even older. Look, this smells like a setup, and Cassandra is not exactly, on the up and up. I mean, she's already talking about dealing some kind of dodgy salvage. This thing's military, could be black ops. There's a lot of question marks about this. So her buyers are not going to be the nicest of guys. So I'm wondering what the hell. I mean, is she stupid or something? I mean, is she tying a bow on this ship? I mean, if we go out into deep space and meet some bunch of thugs who are allegedly going to buy this boat, they're just going to board it and take it. And guess what? We're going to get a free ride out the airlock.
Now you mention it. They say they don't have the money, but just bring it out here to run a job for us and everything's...
Oh, yeah. Well, why don't we just show them our assholes while we're at it?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The ship does have how many working guns?
1.
Well, here's the thing. We need to get on that ship and we need to prep it. And I need to flush out any shit she's put in the computers and make sure no one else can take control of that boat but us, including our dear old pal Cass, because that's probably going to be her insurance policy. I'm betting she's either going to put a bomb on the ship or she's going to put some kind of cascade virus, take the whole ship out in the event that someone tries to steal it, us included. We need to find out what those systems are. We need to take them down. Because obviously, they're not designed to protect us. They're designed to protect her investment, whatever it is. Unless, of course, she really has sold us out.
Just so you know, every ship has a bomb, which is the power system. That's how they self-destruct. They don't actually have a bomb for self-destruct.
I know, but she'd know that I would know that, so I can lock that off.
Yeah.
So she'll try and do something unexpected. I mean, she might not know I was in the Navy and also the dock, but she's going to have a fair idea that we know our way around ships.
I was just letting you know that every ship does have essentially a built-in self-destruct system. So.
Yeah, it's a fusion bomb.
Okay, so step 1, when we're on the ship, make sure we've got access to the guns and clear out potential nasties. I'll leave that up to you since you seem to know what you're doing and you're paranoid enough that you won't leave anything behind.
You got that right.
As for what we want to ask Cassandra about...
Well, what's the end goal that you're heading towards here? You secure the ship, you take it, and then
I just want to get paid, pal. That's all I want. If we can find a legitimate way to go through with Cassandra's schemes, then I'm in. But frankly, what she's told us so far smells like gorgonzola and has got more holes in it than another type of Swiss cheese. I guess I invited her here, one, so I get her on record as actually selling this stuff to us, so that we all know that she's the one who's, suggesting this mission. And we have proof that she did it in case she tries to deny it later on. That gives us leverage over the bitch. This room's bugged, by the way, courtesy of yours truly. So careful what you say when she's in here. Secondly, I want to ask for a pay rise, and if the bitch agrees, then I know something's kooky. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we got to make it look good. So,
there's always the chance of just saying no and just scrap it for parts. It's still 5% of something.
yeah, something tells me Cassandra's not going to go for that. She's probably got crew 2 prepping even as we speak, just in case we don't go for it.
No, I've got a feeling that us saying no might result in a short trip out of a long airlock.
So either we do it, or someone else does and gets the profits, potentially.
Or ends up dead, yeah. She suckers somebody else and we get zilch.
So
we
either
already
way,
agreed to
we're
5%
stuck
on the salvage. Oh, sorry.
So I mean, either way, we're stuck here, dead or dead.
Oh, we're leaving the
Or-
station on that ship. The question is what we do then, how we play it.
I think without a transponder code, we're pretty much dead anyway. So, shady deal or not, it might be worth at least trying it.
Okay. Is that how everyone feels? You're all in for this. By the way, I'm telling you, there could be, this could get rough. The kind of rough Gibbo and I know about, lead flying around, people pumping out. You got to know that's might be where this is going, people.
It sounds like you'll need a doctor or two, especially if you're taking the band on it as well.
See, that's the thing. Our pre-prep depends on what you guys want to do. I mean, if we're taking this boat, just using it for one trip, getting the hell off this station, going somewhere else, then we need to get anyone you care about on board that ship as well. And we need to do it quiet, because if she finds out, she's going to know what we're going to plan in. But if we're going to play this straight, then we do it different. I mean, I don't know if Erica wants her band members on here, because they could just be, bullet magnets.
I ain't leaving here without my friends.
Okay, I hear you.
How
I
about
ain't gonna ask you to.
we take the people we would take if we wanted to leave permanently with us anyway, just in case things go tits up and we have to abandon mission and can't come back.
Or we play it even smarter. We record a bunch of stuff. We put it in places that we can activate remotely. And then I talk to my grandma who used to run the advocacy in this system. And I make it so that if anything goes south and we have to run, all the people we leave behind get pulled off the station and put somewhere safe.
If
That's
if you have that kind of power, then why are you stuck here?
because I don't like asking grandma for favors. Besides, she's retired. I mean, it's going to cost her a lot of human capital to get this kind of stuff done. I don't even know if we can do it. I'm just saying, if I ask real nice, I think grandma's probably got one more favor in the bank for me.
I'd rather do something that definitely works.
I'm just talking. We don't know what this is. We need options, right? I'm just warning you.
Well,
Let's hear what Cassandra has to say. I mean, maybe this is on the up and up. I'm telling you, it just don't smell right at the moment.
As up and up as running a job for a gang of space pirates can be. Anyway.
Yeah, well, couple of years in the Navy's taught me there's space pirates and there's space pirates. You know, the kind of guys who jack a crate. Maybe somebody loses their job over it. That's a different kind of guy from the kind of guy who sends everybody out the airlock or slaves them out. Depends on what these assholes are. Barry, do you know anything about this crew?
Like, what kind of crime are they into? Like, are they slavers or?
Well, they're shipjackers, I can tell you that, since they're the only ones who can pull these transponders. And I'm telling you now, if I see the word Cathcart or spider on anything that we're going near, I really do not think we want to go there.
Miller, you would know that, like, even among smugglers, pulling in like a new transponder is difficult because the way they're designed is based on like the class of the ship. So like even if you're spoofing it, you can spoof it for another ship of the same class, but you can't like spoof like a Carrack for a Hornet, for example.
Yeah, and they ain't exactly off-the-shelf components.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to get something that's common, it would be easy. But for something like a Carrack, you know that would be... Getting a replacement for something like that, it would be a lot more difficult.
It sounds like this whole thing's bullshit. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I think we're the delivery boys. I think Cass has got paid already, and we're the loose end.
Cass wouldn't do that to us, would she?
Thank you for saying that, Gibbo. Bless your heart.
You didn't notice the sarcasm in that, I take it.
Yeah, I did, pal.
Someone had to say it, for the record.
That's what I think this is, pals. I think our 5% is going to be paid in lead.
Well, we won't know till we get there because we're out of options.
Like I said, we take the ship, we hide it somewhere, we say, hey, bitch, you want the ship back, you pay us our money, bitch. And then, guess what? The assholes who have already paid her for the money put the heat on her. Yeah, sure, they're going to be looking for us, but all we need to do is sit tight.
Sit tight for how long out in open space with no supplies?
We're not going to take no supplies. We're going to stuff that ship with every goddamn thing we can put on it. Anyway, besides, a Carrack is designed for long range. It's one of the longest range UE warships there is. Designed to operate for months, even years, behind enemy lines or in uncharted space. That ship is about the best vessel we've got for sitting tight.
Air and power won't be an issue, but I guess we'll have to take a lot of rations.
Yep.
Either way, you'd be cutting off our only hope at landing anywhere ever again.
No, not necessarily. Look, you're not looking at how this plays out, right? Why does Cass... Why? The transponder stuff is bullshit, okay? It's just a red herring. Maybe these guys can spoof a Carrack. I don't think so. They're going to take this into high-spec sex space, use it as a pirate, and kick the shit out of people. And they're the kind of guys who are not going to worry about a transponder code anyway. They take this to Spider. Who gives a shit? Even the Nexus system, there's places you can go around here where you don't need a transponder code. What we need is we need to make sure Cass has no leverage over us, so we need to get everybody off the station or lock down who she can use to counter leverage us. Then we take the ship, we go somewhere, we park it somewhere, we hide it so that the heat is on Cass. So she pays us, okay? Soon as the bitch pays us, then we haven't got a problem, right?
Then what? We're still out in open space with no friends and no transponder.
Yeah, we don't have to go far. We just have to go where she can't find us. We can come back. We can
transponder.
We can come back to the station.
And what? Get met with Cass's friends who are heavily armed and heavily armored?
Yeah, she kills us. She didn't find out where the Carrack is.
If
Look.
you think she's already been paid, is there any way you can look at her accounts?
I could do, but it's dangerous because if she's tracing her account and I don't find the sniffer, it could tip her off. And once she's tipped off, she's gonna rub us out. Trust me. That bitch has double-crossed us already. The only question is how we get out of it. There's two ways out of this. One, we make her pay. Two, we forget about it and think, let's just live our lives out on this rust bucket. Wait for the next opportunity. I'm all for it.
Even
I'm just-
if we get paid, what's that money gonna do?
Use your imagination.
Well, it sounds like we're just going to have to see what she has to say and then see if anyone's changed their mind.
All right. I'm just laying it out for you so that you all know. Right? You do not spoof a Carrick's ID. It's the wrong kind of ship for that kind of play. So she's bullshitting us. She's serving us up, Barry in particular here, with a nice red bow. Special delivery to the assholes who are taking delivery of this ship. Goodbye loose ends, goodbye 5%.
If Cass was just serving us up, what's to stop him from just getting rid of us here? Who's gonna stop him?
Yeah, look, my brother's an advocacy agent on the station. There are the forces of law and order here, and our friend Gibbo here is part of a military unit. Yeah, okay, the station's a bit lawless. It's full of dirtbags, but there are cameras. There is not deniability here.
Yeah,
Cass has got to tread a little bit carefully.
these guys.
I think if I disappeared, my mother might be sending more than a few advocacy agents here.
These guys and girls have done shit already. Them being here is already bad enough for them if they actually cared. Like you said, they can just go off to places. Why not just take the ship now?
That's what I was saying, but we've all got people back here we care about. If Cass is really connected, I don't know anything about her. Maybe Gibbo and I can check her out after we've spoken to her, see how deep her roots go if we can find out. But I'm just warning you, this is a setup. That's what I think, anyway.
But we need to find out more before we plan anything that in depth.
Okay, just remember, she's probably not telling us the truth.
As you finish up this conversation, you hear like a knock on the door.
Okay, you ready?
Right
We'll
as
get
well,
a
eh?
cup of tea.
I'll start the recording and surreptitiously, and then I'll say, "Come."
The door opens up and Cass comes in and sits, she doesn't even sit down, she just sort of walks over and she says, "Oh, good, Millie, you've brought all of your friends. Barry, so glad to see you. You're looking so much better than you did earlier. Real unfortunate that the station had to let you go for missing work, though."
Tea, Cassandra?
"Oh, yes, thank you, Millie."
He passes her a jasmine tea with a saccharine smile.
She takes like a sip out of it and she says, "So, were you ready to get down to business?"
Always.
"Well, I did think a bit about what you told me, and I negotiated a bit with our mutual, Yellow Rose." You know that's like a term people around here use to refer to Mario Tupek. You would be more familiar with it. She's the leader of the rattlesnake crew.
So, lay it out for us. Barry's told us a little bit, but some of us are a little hazy on the details. So what's happened here?
Well, originally the plan was to go and meet up with them, and then from there, I was going to, we were going to give you the repairs necessary to make the journey. But, I was thinking about what you said, and I don't want to be double-crossed. So I'm going to have them deliver the components to repair the QT drive, and all of you will head out tonight. You'll have to finish making some of the repairs on the QT drive on your way out, but we'll get all the parts loaded up onto the ship. I'm sure Barry over there can take care of the final bits of it.
Okay, so what's to stop these guys shaking us down when we get to the other end, huh?
Well,
How are we getting back? We're delivering the ship.
Well, once you get the QT drive going, we have a route for you. I have a few connections around various areas, as do the rattlesnakes. They won't question the fact that you don't have transponder codes, just places you can refuel your QT drive. It'll still take you about 16 days since the route isn't direct. You'll be heading over to Magnus Borea, if you're familiar with it.
Have I heard of it?
Let me see what check it would be.
Magnus Borea.
Yes. One moment. I'm trying to see what check it would be. I guess I want to say something education based. Possibly astrogation.
Okay, astrogation it is. My second best skill. Oh yeah.
That's an excellent check. You roll really well, Steven.
Not really. I've got +3 to it.
Yeah, so you know that it used to be an old UEE hub for ship manufacturing.
Ooh.
The UEE pulled out, and it left Borea in a severe economic depression. But things have recently begun to improve because Drake Interplanetary moved in and made that their new headquarters.
I thought I'd heard this story before.
What did you say it was called?
Borea. It's in the Magnus 2 system.
Never heard of Magnus Borea, but it sounds Great North. Sounds nice.
The plan is, you go there, you get the fresh transponder, along with, well, I'm sure you noticed that it doesn't have the shipping modules in it. Those will be installed with some gear, along with a few other things. And then you'll bring it back to the Rattlesnake crew.
What's their part in this? I mean, what's to stop them shaking us down?
Well, you'll be making a good delivery for them. And
So,
our reward will be the transponder codes and obviously the repairs. After that, we can sell the ship or do whatever else we want with it.
You paid these guys already?
I haven't done any sort of payment yet.
And if they paid you for anything?
Well, aside from the QT pots, nothing else, of course.
What's the check? To check if someone's lying?
Deception.
To check if someone's lying? Is that deception as well?
Yeah, I don't know actually. Let me have a look. Maybe it's recon. I don't know.
Let me double check. Might be recon.
I suppose deception would make sense.
They're all recon based.
Yeah, then it would be recon.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's.
Actually, I think it might be persuade, Steven.
Oh, okay.
While I'm looking, because when I looked at deception, that didn't seem like it would be the case. I don't think there is. Hold on 1 second.
It says deception allows people to lie fluently, disguise yourself, etc. And then it says convincing a guard to let you pass, very difficult. Deception opposed with recon check. And then it says
I
palm
see.
your credit check. And it says disguise yourself as a wealthy noble. So they're all basically deception checks opposed by
Yeah.
recon.
Okay, that's fine. Then it would be recon. Sorry, I was just weird because persuade says bluffing your way past a guard opposed persuade check. So I don't know.
You've just deleted the main map, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah, the main map's
No, still there for me.
It's still there for me too.
probably just my browser needs reloading.
Here, I'll ping you over. Does that help? Anyways, I need to download that actually. I need to download that app or whatever that I linked you to the other day. Anyways.
Yes. Is it free?
Mm-hmm. It's an add-on for browsers.
Nice.
Because I think it does stuff like automatically moves people to where their tokens are. And it also does that when you get initiative and stuff. It's pretty good. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm back on.
Let me see what your checks were.
10.
And 9, 6. Okay. She seems to be being honest with you.
Forgive me, ma'am, but rattlesnakes are not exactly your regular common or garden people. I mean, these guys have got connections with every shipjacking crew this side of the verse. Wants to stop them taking this carrack and just flowing off into the wild blue yonder. And don't say us, because that ain't very reassuring.
Don't worry, I have a few connections around the area, and they're not going to double-cross me. And considering that this is all part of a deal with, some reputable contacts, I don't think they would want to double-cross them either. Not gonna say it won't be risky, but worst comes to worst, you can always threaten to blow up the ship.
Wouldn't we be on it most of the time?
Again, there are some risk.
Bit of a risk.
Well, if the options come to die by blowing up your own ship or die and have the ship be stolen, I know which I'd rather. One last middle finger.
Oh, the rattlesnakes probably wouldn't kill you. They prefer to take people alive. They have some connections with the Banu.
Oh, great. Lifetime of indentured servitude. Just what I always wanted. 10% minimum.
I can't really promise you anything else. I've already promised a lot of you 30%. And then, well, let's just say I didn't get these repairs done without promising some others some ship shares as well. Don't worry, once you get down onto the surface of the planet, the ship shares will get worked out along with the transponder code. I trust you understand how powerful the connections are that are involved in this.
Well, if we're talking about Drake, that's pretty high level.
Sorry, who's Drake?
They make all the the sort of budget low-end ships that pirates use in the verse, like the Cutlass and all sorts of other people. They're a big ship manufacturer. They say that they're for the common man and the blue collar and all of this, but in practice, quite a lot of their ships are used by nefarious elements.
So the unofficial sponsor of piracy.
They would deny that they sponsor piracy, but their
That's
vessels.
why they're unofficial.
Yeah, but they just sell to anyone. Is basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you keep talking about your connections, but, you know, I'm sure you're aware that some of us have connections, and if something bad were to happen to us, well, you know, that wouldn't end very well for the people who had sent us to such a fate. So, clearly, nothing bad should happen, right?
Oh yes, you won't have to worry about anything. Again, there are some risks, but it should all be very well calculated.
Right.
In whose favour?
Well, considering my payday is based on the Carrick being in one piece. You could say our interests are aligned for now.
Well, why don't you throw us a bomb then? It feels like we're going into the unknown. We have people to take care of. I know you got funds. Pay us a little something before we go.
I can pay you a little bit out of my personal funds, but not too much. You will get a payment once you arrive on Borea Magnus.
Well, look, I'm going to level with you, Cass. We only have your word that these guys haven't already paid for the ship, and you're not just double-crossing us. So Miller clicks, and the display of Cass saying all of this stuff she's just told us with an ident, a station ident that authenticates it, appears on the wall. So I just sent this to several people. So if anything happens to us, I think it ain't going to go well for you. Now, of course, I'm going to delete this file the moment we all get back here safely and paid. Anything else happens, you know how it goes. What's her reaction?
He kind of looks at you with like an angry face. You've seen this look many times before, so it's nothing all that surprising.
Miller leans over to the chessboard on top of the on top of this kitchen counter. Checkmate.
Miller, and here I thought we were such good friends.
This is
Yeah, well,
business.
yeah. As I'm here to do business, and I'm telling you now, If you play straight with us, we'll play straight with you. But if things start to look like they're going south, well, things could get interesting real quick.
You slimy scumbag.
Thank you. Coming from you, that's almost a compliment.
Oh, and I want to be rehired.
Well, I can't exactly rehire you. Not yet. Maybe once you get back.
And what about my dear, poor old mother?
Like I said, I can handle some routine payments to make sure she's taken care of.
I suggest you reword that.
I'll make sure she's in okay condition when you return.
Sorry for interrupting you, Miller.
No problem, pal.
Listen, we all get paid after this, and I'm taking some risk too. I'm the one who has to go over it and negotiate this in person since, well, I didn't think Miller was going to. I have another crew lined up who could do it, but I don't want to get anyone else involved in this. I'd want to keep it as few mouths speaking about this as possible.
Yeah, we get it. We got it. It's going to go on, this is going to totally go on the down low as long as you're being straight with us. It's just, I don't like pre-programmed routes with, where we can't vary off a point-to-point transfer so someone knows exactly where and when we're going to be the whole route. I mean, it's not really that smart. I mean, you're a bit too trusting of these pirate assholes.
Well, I happen to have connections with a few of these assholes.
Do the pirates know the route we'll be taking? Or is that just you?
No, the pirates got to know because they're arranging the refuel for us.
Yes, they are quite aware of it.
So what I'm saying to you is, you're asking us to trust that you're enough of a bigwig that they won't kill us. We are risking our lives. That's a pretty big goddamn ask.
Well,
I got a better idea. You give us some money, and then whenever we need refueling, we call an old friend of mine in the Navy who runs a Starfarer operation. No questions asked. He meets us exactly where we want to. No one knows where we're going. All they know is our final destination. Then we take the ship, we get it to Borea, and everyone's happy and no one ends up with a lead waistcoat. You know what I'm saying?
That would involve trusting you not to flush us all out the airlock as soon as your friends arrive.
Hey, lady, what do you think this is?
I don't think he would do that, considering, well, he doesn't get his payday if he doesn't get the transponder codes.
Yeah, and also, if I wanted to get rid of the rest of you, I'd have just cut you out of this deal when Cass first told Barry. I'm not that kind of guy. I mean, 5%'s good enough for me. I ain't greedy. As long as we get this job done, I just want to get paid, okay? I've had enough gigs recently where it looked like something, it turned out to be nothing. After I'd taken the risk.
Listen, Miller, I think I can arrange that. The payment will have to come from my sources.
Listen, if you don't trust me, stick it in escrow and just give me access to the account so that you know the only person that I can be sending it to is this Starfarer captain I know who's in the service. Okay?
Well, that's the plan, but I'm letting you know it's not going to be mine. It's going to be theirs.
Okay, so what you're saying is if we double cross you, we're going to have this rattlesnakes on our back. I'm hearing you. Roger that.
So, do we have a deal?
What do we think, people?
I still want a little payment up front.
Like I said, I can arrange a little something.
How much we talking?
I'll have to check my accounts. How about 100 UEC?
Plus, you're going to have to clear it with my charge that I'm allowed off base.
Well, all of you are going to be discharged for various reasons. Those of you who work for the base, of course.
I hope those reasons are not going to be anything that's going to reflect badly on those of us who once served, he says, looking at Gibbo. Or those who are in the medical profession.
We'll just say that you are taking a temporary leave. Except for Barry, he showed up late. I already removed him.
Just put down personal reasons. No one questions that.
Yeah, sadly, you don't get out of the Marines for personal reasons.
Didn't you say, Miller, something about a distress call that you could arrange?
Yeah, I can do that. It's already in hand, but I was hoping we had a better cover story than that.
But listen, the cover story is going to be most important on your way back. That's when you're going to be taking the... That's when you're going to have the cargo, and that's when you're going to have the transponder, and that's when you're going to be taking the direct routes.
So nobody's going to ask questions on the way out, but on the way back...
Well, they might have questions on the way out. It's just that what we're doing then isn't illegal.
Well, the way out is going to take you at least 16 days, considering you're going to have to take an unusual route, regardless of how you want to plan it.
The way out is going to involve us a lot of time in deep space. We don't have to approach any planetary bodies if my buddy can arrange a few starfarers. Problem comes in the way back. I don't see why we don't play it the same way. But I guess it looks a little shifty, so... Depends on what this cargo is, how important it is.
Well, these things are on a timetable. It's one thing to wait for what's necessary, but the way back should be nice, clean, and simple.
What do they want us to bring back, if anything?
I didn't ask, and you shouldn't either. But
So now
considering
so
it's
now-
on Boreas, you can take your best guess.
So now we're working for the rattlesnakes.
Well, that'll be an irony.
Well, temporary alliances can be important.
I got a promotion for busting up one of their rings aboard my ship.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be there to thank you in person.
If any of you have any beef with them, just don't show your face around them. Or if you do, make sure no one you recognizes you.
Yeah, it might be best to let me handle the talking in that case.
Hey, Doc. I'm surprised you're so open about that.
About what?
Never mind.
I mean, it's on my service record. It's in a few newspapers, or whatever they'd be called in the future.
Yeah.
All you have to do is space Google my name, and it's probably going to come up somewhere.
Well, do we have a deal then?
I'm out. Sorry, people. I don't like it.
Well, fine. I'll fly the ship myself if I have to. I'm getting out of here, one way or the other.
Great. Sayonara.
Oh, come on, Miller.
Are you serious? I've got 3 people here who just joined the Order of the Concentric Circle as far as the rattlesnakes are concerned. You know, this has got Blackmail Central written all over it as well. If we're carrying contraband back for these assholes, come on. I may have done some low-life deals in my life, but not anything like this kind of shit. And besides, these fuckers could be trying to gank over the Navy. I'm sorry. I am not supplying parts and material to pirates. That is a line Josephus Miller does not cross. Are we clear?
Listen,
Miller looks seriously annoyed.
someone is going to do it. It might as well be you.
Yeah, somebody is going to do it.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Why don't you all decide what you're going to do? If you're all going to gallivant off into space, I'll come along, make sure you don't get too shut up. If not, I'm going to be in the infirmary.
Yes, why don't you all take some time to think about it? I'm taking a ship out tonight to go finish the negotiations with them.
Okay. Maybe we can settle down. I just want to know this cargo is not weapons or any kind of bullshit.
I can't promise anything like that. In fact, I would be surprised if it wasn't, all things considered.
Well, in that case, how about those of us who are interested will get in touch with you later, and in the meantime, we'll discuss.
Yes, why don't you do that? Again, I'm heading off the station shortly, so if you need to contact me, it'll have to be through comms.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you, Barry, she says with, like, her evil-looking smile.
As soon as she's outside of the door, I turn to everyone. I can't wait for my mother to kill her when I die.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, pal.
Let's face it. So, Doctor, do you remember me?
Pretty sure I do.
Yeah. Nice of you to pay mind. It doesn't matter. You had more important things to remember. But, like you said, anyone could find you and what you did and what you're affiliated with. And you just so happen to be on this mission and all.
It's a small universe.
Yeah.
Plus, if we do make it back, we're all criminals. And despite what Erica says, I actually ain't one.
Are you sure about that?
Not yet.
All right.
You know, for all your talk of people double-crossing you, it's interesting you don't think about double-crossing them.
Ain't that kind of guy. What am I going to say? Besides, who is this Cassandra? We don't really know jack about who she is.
I'm not talking about Cassandra. If you're worried about whatever we'd be delivering falling into the wrong hands, hurting the right people, why don't you just rig it up with some explosives before you deliver it?
Then we'll be running for the rest of our lives if these people are who I think they are. That's a problem. Princess, once you walk in the spider web, you're stuck. I've lived in this world for a very long time. I used to do this professionally. You do not fuck with these kind of people.
You've lived in this world for like, what, 5-6 years more than me, tops?
Are you still recording, Miller?
Yeah.
Are you making sure she hasn't left any of her own recorders?
I swept the place before. Anyway, she just boarded a freelancer. They're taking off the station, so she wasn't lying about that, at least.
Listen, I'm already on the run from these guys. And if these guys could ever get to you, Edward, they'd be after you anyway.
Plus, the problem is, if we do this, we'll be on the run from them and the law.
So don't rig the cargo. Why is it such a big deal?
Because it's part of the payment. At least if we believe Cass's story, if we don't bring the cargo, then essentially the rattlesnakes don't think they get paid. And if they don't get paid, then somebody's going to get hurt. That's the way it works in that world.
Listen. If all of you, for whatever reason, aren't taking this, I was serious when I said I would.
Lady, you're crazy. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, and that's why I'd be a little bit more confident with some paranoid, shady assholes watching my back. And a couple of medical professionals in case anything does go wrong. I'm serious when I said I'm not sitting around here the rest of my life. This is an opportunity, whether it goes wrong or not.
Miller, do you think that it's true that there's some cargo that we're going to haul and they're not just going to take the ship then?
Who knows, pal? Who knows? All I'm saying at this point is if we start this game, we do not know where it leads. And you got to be ready for that. It could go anywhere.
At least it leads somewhere.
Lady, this is not going to be the last opportunity that's ever going to hit this station, okay? There are legit jobs out there.
Yeah, and the next one might come, what, 40, 50 years from now?
It'll probably be given to some already rich guy. Let's face it. Some guy with connections.
All right, I'm going to check this out. There is a way to double cross this. I just have to be careful.
I mean, if there is a cargo, you could always have a look at it and then turn it over to the Navy and just show them all of your recordings. And we've got some connections. We could have it be an undercover operation or something.
That could work.
Besides, I've just been fired, so I ain't got anything else now.
Have you really been fired, is that? I thought you all were joking about that.
Nope. I've got a feeling that we're all about to get fired for various reasons.
Well, Barry's been fired, but no one else has.
Are you a member of the union, Barry?
Wouldn't let me in.
Are there actually unions? Oh, I don't know.
There are probably some, but not in like a shithole like this.
Very small union. They don't have any power.
think the union on board this station would be whichever gang you're in.
No, the
Yeah.
union's just Barry. Nobody listens to him.
Yeah, that sounds more believable.
I probably wouldn't think of any union then, so never mind.
I got too drunk at the meeting and forgotten all about it.
Hey, Merce, what's your feeling? You going with the doc, Erica?
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, am I going?
You said you were going if Erica was going, right?
I said I was going if you all were going.
I got you. Okay.
It's not a good deal, but it's what we're gonna get.
It's a flaming shitty girl.
Okay, Gibbo. There's only one way I'm doing this. And I'm guessing you know what that is.
Fully armored up and ready to double cross the shit out of people. Yeah, I don't like this one little bit.
Whatever happened to taxi cab jobs? It was so much simpler.
There's still some of them about. You just have to go to the right places.
Yeah, you also have to have a goddamn ship.
Yeah.
Some people still use cars. Well, they're still spaceships, but they're, you know.
As bad as this place is, staying here isn't the worst thing that could possibly happen. You don't have to do this.
I mean, I don't know if you're here by choice or what, but for some of us, being stuck here is the second worst place I can think of.
Well, staying here means staying here. Doing this means being killed in a jump, being killed by pirates, being killed by the Navy, being arrested by the Navy, being arrested by the pirates and sold into slavery, or we actually pull it off.
So then, let's just pull it off.
As if it was that easy.
That's the spirit.
See? Barry's on board.
That's almost alliterative, isn't it?
Almost.
Yeah, shake your head all you like, Miller, but some of us are, you know.
Desperate, yeah, I know.
As shitty as this deal looks, and as risky as it is, and as obviously, you know, we're going to get fucked over at multiple points in multiple areas. It's all we got. And, you know, all we got is something.
I'm in if Gibbo and Mercy are in.
I was going to say I'm in if you're in.
Well, it's down to you then, Mercy.
Wow.
No pressure. You want a drink? He brings out a bottle out of his coat pocket.
Gimme. You know what? Just gimme.
Barry hands Mercy a bottle. Hopefully that
chug
makes the
it.
decision a bit easier to make.
She's gonna chug it, and then
Steady, I'll run out.
no, I think we'll be fine. I have a good feeling about this. I mean, it's obviously a bad thing, but I have a good feeling. And so what if we end up being criminals? It's this kind of world. No one can blame us. Well, I mean, law can blame us, but you know, that's the law. It usually blames people. If it's like, what's the alternative? Are we going to give our superior out to the wolves? We can tip off the, I don't know, Navy, Army, whatever. Pull them into a raid. It's gonna be some fighting. They might lose their lives anyway.
What, darling?
Nothing. Just, you know, the risk is always there. I'm just saying, it's either we take the risk or we get nothing. And I would like to get something. So I'm in.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing the part about money. We're sucking on the dry tanks here.
Mhm.
Okay, we do this, but like I said, stinks to high heaven. So we got to be ready. Brother's got eyes on your mother, Mercy, on Barry's mom. Anybody else we should be looking out for on the station?
Erica's people.
They're coming with us, I guess.
Oh, are they?
I don't think she's going to leave them behind.
Nope. Besides, it's not a good cover story if it's just one member of a band.
I'm sure I could learn bass. It's just 4 strings. That's easier than guitar, isn't it?
Don't let Morgan hear you say that.
Fair enough. I was just trying to make a joke, but I can see it's not worth it at this point, is it? Ran out of beer.
I'm gonna have to stock quite a lot of beer, I guess, then.
Yeah. Unless the Navy guy can get us a refill of that and all.
Well, looks like we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Right.
Lock and load, people. Those of you who don't have guns,
Get some.
let's pool this money that Cassie is going to forward us, and let's get some guns.
I'm afraid I'd be no good firing guns anyway. Ain't my thing.
I took an oath. I'm not gonna touch a gun.
Glad to hear you're taking it so seriously.
I mean, you gotta take something seriously.
I guess.
I'm all right with the turret, though. Does that ship have a turret? I forget.
It does,
It's not
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's 4 of them.
Spoiled for choice.
Though not all of them are currently functional. Another thing to note with the Carrack is its turrets aren't perfectly interlockable, so it usually relies on a snub fighter to defend it.
Yeah, just beautiful.
Which it doesn't have the snub fighter either, so.
How much
Okay.
is a gun anyway? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Depends on the gun.
Yep.
Can we get guns on the station?
Depends on the gun you want. Assuming you take the deal, each of you will get 100 UEC or 100 credits. Which is pretty good.
Can pool them and get some people who haven't got guns. Some guns. There's some revolvers and stuff.
Yeah. It'll be much easier to get more basic guns than the higher stuff.
Yep.
If you're leaving any behind with family members or something too, you'll need to make sure to not, or to count that off, I should say.
Yep.
You'd be leaving them behind with Cass watching over them.
Yeah. I just know some people ask for money because they're worried about their family and stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying that given how much you all seem to hate and distrust her, giving her hostages is
I will mention too, there actually are they're actual people, so they do take care of their own bills and stuff. It's not like they're being taken care of just by you.
Also, I doubt it's going to be safer with us.
Actually, thinking of the people we're going to be dealing with, it's probably going to be less safer with this.
Well, yeah.
So, I guess the next question is, when do we take off?
Apparently,
she said
tomorrow.
tonight.
Tonight, yeah. As soon as possible.
Yep. Okay.
So, what's the thing then? Are you definitely going to bring the band?
Yes.
So that's 9 people together. We're 6. There's 3 more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else coming?
Looks like that's a no.
Okay, so we need food and water for 9 people, medical supplies for 9 people. For 16 days. In case anything goes, so we'll say 32 days.
No. And that's if we don't get sidetracked by anything.
Yep.
This is not going to be easy.
Well, I will allow all of you to discuss it throughout the week because I think this is a good area to
Drop.
Oh, we've got 20 minutes left.
Do you think we've got enough for a pocket nuke?
I think you've got enough. You could get like a revolver or a body pistol or maybe an auto pistol. I think getting a rifle, if you wanted an assault rifle, is 500. So if all of you pooled, you could get like a single assault rifle with like an extra clip. I don't think the magazine's actually included in the cost either, so...
No, it isn't, so we'd need some ammo. But ammo is relatively cheap.
Yeah, it is. But you could get like a single assault rifle, I think.
Yeah.
And I
So-
think a ballistic assault rifle is something you could get here.
Is Cass going to pay 900 if there's 9 of us?
Yeah, I would think she would. Though
Perfect.
I would say, like, we don't have to RP this, but she probably would have to have an argument with Miller because she was originally basically thinking 600. So
Yeah, well, she can have an argument.
the two of you go back and forth, and Miller's eventually able to convince her to cough up the 900.
Nice.
So I would say that the band members probably aren't going to be contributing to assault weapons.
That's Gibbo's department.
Though, to be fair, you don't necessarily have to tell her you're not giving the money to them because it's not like she's depositing this into your account. So probably just having someone, like a third party, pass you a credit chip sort of thing. So you could just... But Erica would know if you were doing something like that. So that would be on Erica more than it would be on you. If Erica wanted to keep the money for y'all or give it to her band members. Also Edward, I guess, because Edward has connections to... I think it's Morgan, so...
I mean, how many people can use a gun?
Miller raises his hand, but Gibbo's your man for this.
Richard raises his hand. Actually, Richard raises both hands. I'm very good with guns.
Okay, so both of you already have guns. Anyone else?
I've also know how to use a gun. I've been, in the Navy. It's kind of required.
I can use guns. Not necessarily going to be much use with them.
Okay, so potentially 2, maybe 3 people who could use a gun and don't have one currently. So maybe just 3 smaller guns rather than one big one?
Listen, lady, Gibbo needs something he can actually lay down some proper fire with. What's your
Well,
best with you?
I can buy my own gun, so the problem I'm thinking of is buying food and water and supplies.
Yeah, well, we ain't gonna do that for 100 credits, even 900.
If you're talking about the supply, like the basic supplies in the ship are going to be supplied by her, like your basic like fuel and food and everything. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we don't have to pay for them.
That's nice.
well, when I say her, they're being provided by the station under her guidance, and some stuff is going to go missing.
Can I divert a couple of medkits as well?
Yeah, she'll restock the medical bay with like some basic stuff, which will include like a medical kit. So it's not going to be empty.
As long as I've got antibiotics and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah. But it's not going to be like fully stocked, just like some necessity sort of thing.
Okay.
Well, an assault rifle is 500 credits.
I know, and we need one for Gibbo.
And
You
each
say
magazine.
need.
Lady, if we get into a proper firefight, you're going to want me having an assault rifle.
Yeah.
You want to get into a firefight with handguns when these assholes might have machine guns or God knows what the hell? Okay.
And then if he gets shot out, then
Well, then
What
one of us picks up the assault rifle and carries on.
meanwhile everyone else stands around with their thumbs up their asses, watching.
Well, Maybe you can
More
start
people-
this.
I'm just saying, more people shooting might be better than one person shooting a bigger gun.
Well, he already has a pistol, so if we get the assault rifle, he can give one of us a pistol. And also, the assault rifle isn't 900 credits, so we'll have some money left over. So we can still get some more pistols.
You got it. And more importantly, some more ammo.
Aye. It's not too bad, Erica.
I will mention
It is
the
bad,
gun will have
but-
to be bought and registered by like either Miller or Gibson, I believe, because they're both military and citizens, so they're licensed. Assuming you want to buy it legally.
Yeah.
We might as well wait to become criminals.
Since you're buying it basically on short notice, so they'll be able to get one fairly easily. But if someone else wanted one, you know, to have like a waiting period, and they have to make sure to be licensed and everything. So
Nice.
the benefits of being a citizen.
Well, I'm going to buy a snub pistol, a jack, and a blade.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
Snub
make
Pistol's
sure I'm-
150, just so you know. So I know you had some credits from your starting money too. So how much starting money did you have?
250.
Oh, nice. So yeah, you'll be able to afford all that.
Gibbo, you got any armor, pal?
Just cloth armor.
It'll have to do, pal.
Hmm.
So what guns do we have currently?
Miller pulls out his snub.
I pull out my auto pistol.
I pull out my dagger.
That's not a gun, Barry.
Barry puts his dagger away.
It's very nice though. It'll be helpful probably. So right. So you pass me that auto pistol. Let's say you buy an assault rifle.
Hmm.
Do you know how to use one of these things?
Yes. You point and shoot.
Okay, show me. Miller takes the thing, puts the safety on, and does a few other things like chambers around. So is it safe to fire at somebody now, or what?
Make me a gun check.
Gun combat and an education probably is.
Yeah, I would say gun combat education would be most appropriate.
She'll just take it without even looking at the gun, just staring at Miller like, you know, like, stop condescending me. Takes the safety
Great,
off,
Great,
gets it all
great.
ready to fire.
I'm just checking. I don't like having people at my back who point guns when they don't know what they're doing. Worse than somebody with a knife.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have asked for it if I didn't know how to use it.
Well, you can never tell. We don't know each other. Okay, gun it is.
I want to see you break the news that you're gonna take the band away from the station and then spend a month in deep space.
I think just the fact they're getting off the station will be all right with that.
It's only half
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah, 16 days there and then a faster trip back.
Okay, fair enough.
Is there any chance I could nab a pistol?
Once we've got my automatic assault rifle, I'll quite happily hand you over my pistol.
All right, fair game.
Doesn't Miller need a weapon though?
Definitely. What's your overall skill?
Me?
I mean, you guys should be able to afford like like 2 or 3 extra pistols and an assault rifle if you pulled your money, because you have, assuming you're cutting your band members out at least temporarily.
I have 1 level in slug weapons.
Cool. Okay. Well, let me see.
Because you guys started with what, 2 guns?
Yep.
And how many do you want in total? 4 guns and an assault rifle.
Just 4 guns, including an assault rifle, would be fine, I think.
Then you need to come up with probably 800 for that, I think, because not counting the ammo.
Yeah, but we actually need some ammo, so that's the
Well,
problem.
yeah, the ammo's not too bad though. We could say like it would probably take your whole 900 to get ammo plus. I'm just estimating. Obviously, you can. It's 119, I think, in the book. 118.
Assault rifle is 15 credits per clip, and the others are basically 10. My gun combat skill is 1, and I have a dexterity of 2, so I have an overall modifier of 3. So I'm not bad at a gun.
Yeah, what's your dex, Erica?
Just a +1.
So that's a 2 overall then.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm -1 overall.
Yes.
Poor Barry.
You're taking my snub, Barry.
I'm just trained. That's it.
My gun combat's a 2. So I
Yeah.
don't get any dex modifier.
Well, it's up to you how you guys want to break up your
I'm the best
task.
shot.
Wait, so
How amusing.
technically, I'm as good with a gun as freaking what?
As Gibbo, but you're not
Yeah,
as
but
good at
Gibbo
it.
has tactic training and combat tactics training.
Indeed.
Also, I think there's different types of gun training too.
I think there's
Although it's-
slug
they
weapons and
they glossed
plasma?
over it a lot, actually.
Energy.
yeah, it doesn't really split between like handguns, assault rifles,
It used to, but
etc.
it doesn't anymore.
I thought there was one for heavy as well.
Yeah, there is. I'm basically trained in heavy weapons, slug weapons, and energy weapons.
Oh wait, don't you already have a gun, Perry?
He's got an antique pistol.
Yeah. I'm keeping that secret.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. That gun is for showing only one person.
So, buy some weaponry, get ready to go out.
5, 6, 7. So we want 4 guns. Is that right?
Who all wants to have a gun is the question.
Erica
Well,
does.
I'm just going to buy my own, so you don't need to include that in the pool.
Okay.
Factoring you. Mercy?
Erica needed one. Mercy, did you need a gun? You there, Edja?
Yep. Sorry, I zoned out.
Do you need a gun?
No, not really. I can't use it anyway. It will be untrained, so.
Yeah, if you're untrained, you might hurt someone.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
What's your dex?
0, I think.
It would be a -3 in gun, so yeah, maybe
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
That's one person in this crew that's worse than me.
She would like close her eyes and just shoot into nothingness. I suppose.
Okay.
You'll probably crit.
Hope it doesn't hit anything.
Max damage.
So Erica needs a gun. Barry is gonna get his own gun.
I'm going to give
I'm
Barry
sorry, no.
my slug pistol.
Edward is gonna get his own gun. So
I'm going to give Barry my slug pistol because it's basically not that great, but it's it's something. And then I need a gun. Erica needs a gun, and Erica can probably have.
yeah, so Gibson can give Erica his gun. You can give Barry your gun, and then get a new pistol for.
Yep, I need an auto pistol and
then Gibson needs an assault rifle. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need
That's 700 total.
Yep, and then the rest is ammo.
What sort of pistol are you buying? Auto pistol?
Auto.
Yeah, so that's 700 plus ammo. Do you have enough for that? Because I know you have starting credits too. I don't know how much you guys are pooling, so you need to share that information between you guys.
I haven't got very much left. 30.
I mean,
I've got 150, so I can put that towards it.
I suppose unless Ellie's going to charge me for all the beer I've been drinking, I have 100 credits.
We'll say no for now, just to keep things simple. So.
okay. Edward, did you use the 100 from this payment in your buying your own equipment?
Not
was that-
so far.
Okay, so
Although
we
I
still
might have to forego getting a blade.
Yeah, all of you add 100 to your pool, and then there's it's up to you if you want to keep the 300 from your bandmates or give it to them.
We're not really gonna need money out in deep space, so I think at this point it would be better put towards security.
Okay, so you guys will keep it a secret from them. So there's 300 in the pool from the bandmates, and then all of you have 100 each, so you can put that on your sheet and then decide how you want to split that up between who's putting into the pool and who's keeping what. So.
I think I'm gonna leave my share with my mom.
Okay, so 100 goes to your mom.
Well, assuming as I'm being gifted a pistol, which is worth more than my amount, I give the whole 100 to the pool.
Nice.
Okay, so the pool is out, I think 400 now. I'm just going to put a 400 in the chat.
I'll put
My 100 can definitely go into the pool because I don't need anything.
Okay, 500's in the chat. How much did you guys need? You needed 700, I think, before ammo.
I'll put my 100 in.
So 600?
2.
You too, Miller?
Yep.
That's 700. So that gets the 2.
And then 100 from me for ammo.
Okay. So that's 800. So the extra 100 can go towards ammo, however you guys want to.
Nice. Okay. I'll put in the order for the auto pistol and assault rifle unless Gibbo wants to do it, and we'll also
I'll let
buy
you do it.
a bunch of ammo.
Yep, it's up to you guys how you want to split the ammo. Just make sure you note it on your character sheets.
Sure. You also get Barry. You get 2 clips of normal ammo and 1 of reaction ammo, the stuff that fires in space.
Oh.
So accelerator ammo.
So that's 1 clip of accelerator.
Yeah, so that's recoilless and it works in vacuum.
Thank you muchly.
Nice.
Coil.
And I think there will kind of wrap things up for session 2.
Aye.
Very well. Thank you all for watching, and I hope we'll see you next time.